Hey guys, 2 o'clock. Welcome back in on a positive, but we're trending back to the downside, kind of an afternoon. But what a day it's been after getting up above that 1% mark, staying there for quite some time. We're kind of leaking a little bit here as we head towards the afternoon. And as the guys were saying there, yeah, big day to come, not only tomorrow and Wednesday, but also coming up on Friday this week, where we get February non-farm payrolls. So that's going to be the next kind of inflation checkpoint. If you remember, last month, the non-farm jobs report was just absolutely monstrous compared to what they were expecting. So that kind of ignited this whole move back towards inflation. Here's how the futures are setting up right now. 0.17 only left over for the S&P right now. 0.09 for the Dow. The NASDAQ still leading. Yeah, it's been the big ones all day long. The NASDAQ 100 that have led, still 0.42 overall. 0.3 now downside for the TSX here in Toronto. We did get positive at one point throughout the day, largely because of some strength in oil, some mining stocks as well doing well. Here for the TSX, 1.2 for Bitcoin. Ethereum 0.8 back upside, big bounce after very negative way to end last week, if you remember, on this Silvergate mess. Yeah, what a difference a couple of hours makes here. We went from very green to mostly red now. I mean, there are some pockets here. Enphase still standing out there. ENPH 4.4 SEDG also to the upside. There's Apple. We'll talk about that coming up. 2.5 JNPR and at GLW in the tech group. But if you remember, this was tech stocks, that is, was over here. Early on this morning, it's now consumer discretionary names that are leading to the downside, as we saw early on this morning. These were among the first to go from green to red once again. DLTR 3% downside. NWL having quite the day. VFC and MHK to name a few. In the healthcare group, DXCM, EW. This was on a positive move for ALGN. So DXCM downside on a positive move for ALGN, just 1.5 left over. Merck here as well, 3.6. I wanted to mention Lumen here once again, LUMN, 4.4% to the upside. Google having a great day. Match and Dish trying to offset that though. Downside, tough to see, but that's Paramount in there also. Back in the red, still green for the overall market, but only just. 0.17. Hopefully we can find a little footing here as we head towards the close. We'll take you right through to 4 o'clock. Take you through the last couple of hours of the day. Hope yours is going well. Stay tuned. We'll jump into a few things we were discussing early on this morning. There was a ton of opportunity obviously available for you this morning as we got going. We were talking a little bit about this Fed Chair Powell testimony that's going to come up tomorrow. So it'll be back-to-back Tuesday and Wednesday, Fed Chair Powell in Washington. Non-stop headlines, I'm sure, coming out of that throughout the day. So get ready for that coming up tomorrow. Right now, however, get ready for Neil. He's going to kick us off this afternoon with a look at one of his trades.
Your trade of the day is going to be NVIDIA today, and what a day it was for NVIDIA. Look, obviously, this has been a strong moving stock. Top to bottom, it's been a leader with AI, at least catching the AI craze as they were. And on Friday was all about this 239 level. Like the top that this had made had gone on for about a week and a half after earnings. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 times when it touched, actually barely even breaking it in late stages on Friday. You come in today and immediately you knew you're challenging this level. So as far as I was concerned, if there was resistance up there, I wanted to take a shot, shorting it. If it broke out of that channel, I wanted to look for the long. So you're kind of patiently waiting for this level to come in. Once it did, you kind of know what to do. So like I said, it was already testing above. There's your 39 in the pre-market. This is about an hour before the market opens up, so nothing doing. Then it consolidates, you're off 238.50. I know I want the short going into this high. It's now established pre-market 240 is the high. If it can't clear out that high, then the breakout of this consolidation level to me isn't gone just yet. So we short the pop into it. It goes pretty clean off that 240, scalps them out 50, scalps them out there about $1.25. Then the flush comes in. It bounces once. There's no flush off the low, does not get through the pre-market bottoms, was anticipating a float back up to the high. We've been seeing a lot of that in the markets recently, so I'm always looking for it to come back, give you the entire range in that 930 to 935 area. It just doesn't do it. Comes back down with a lower high. This time we take it out. Certainly support there at that 237. Every single time it's tested this level, it's been giving some big moves. But if you look at a couple of times here, that was a pretty tight move after it had tested once, and actually one time before that twice. Third time wasn't this big. It was a big, strong extension into it the last couple of days. So it's never as good the third, fourth, fifth, sixth time you're going through it. So we're a little more aggressive getting out. It comes back up to our level. We go in for a scalp trade again off that same high. We're able to get some out there. It scalped down about 60, 70 cents. And then the explosion. Now, you don't reverse on every single trade, from short to long or long to short. But on a really big level, when it's clearing out multiple time frames, whether it's a daily chart or the 15-minute, clearing out that high was a big level. So we grab the reverse. It instantly goes $1. We buy the dip, and here's where I made a bit of an error. And this is going to happen to you. Sometimes you don't give something a little bit enough room. So I buy the reload, scalp out, and then get wicked out of the long on NVIDIA. Frustrating, obviously, at this particular moment. If you're ever trading more than one symbol, you miss something like that. I end up not wanting to chase it up at that 241 when I had a chance to get back in. It is what it is. You got to live and learn. In that situation, you want to be giving it at least back to this 239.50 area. That's that previous pre-market high. Got to be able to respect it for that. Too tight of a stop in that particular case. Then just work the longs off at 239.50. Some decent scalp trades in there before it finally broke. Now you can reverse. I chose a couple of different names that I like to the short side, but that was actually a pretty good reversal point when I reclaimed that 239. Because right now, you've got a bit of a fail breakout to the upside and a trend down. You've got to be willing to trade only around key price levels. That was a big price. Every time you traded around it, great shorts. You could have had the longs as well breaking out for a decent scalp trade. But NVIDIA is your trade of the day because that big, big level from last week was easy pickings for us. And as always, sponsored by Day Trade the World.
Yeah, great move for some of the semiconductors, including NVIDIA on that list this morning. Make sure you grab that every single day, guys, if you haven't done so. Super easy. Just go to watchlist.tradertv.live, enter your email address, just like Fahad did there, and you can have that for free every single day. Has everything you need to know in the pre-market. Wanted to kind of tee things up. Again, all eyes kind of focused on what's going to come tomorrow, although big moves in the market today, but an event-filled, as Reuters put it, week to come, but market's kind of muted here as we head towards what is to come with Fed Chair Powell tomorrow. Some interest rate talk, obviously, some inflation talk, obviously, with this testimony coming through in Washington. Again, it's not going to be like a prepared speech. I don't think it's going to be more of a Q&A from some of the representatives that will be grilling him a little bit on his current job of fighting inflation. And then we were talking about this morning as well. Goldman Sachs initiating Apple with a buy. Thankfully, we've had these tech stocks to kind of lean on today. Nice day for Apple, up 2% here. But like the market, guys, giving some back currently.
Yo, what's up? Yeah, the market, yeah. So we're in a $3 winner right now on, am I muted? No, on Tesla as well. Yeah, the market definitely starting to give some back, man. So we were actually just, I know the professor was talking about this a little bit. We were just long Apple as well. Eventually, I mean, we were able to take some good trades out. I mean, we got stopped out there once it broke 155, got back in and able to take it, and then it broke, and since then it's just been sort of downside right now. So I still like Apple against some of these levels that we're coming into, even 153 here into Friday's close, which we've already bounced off of right there. So 153.50 maybe for Apple coming into play again, but the market's still doing its thing right now. I mean, we did have a nice move up earlier, but you can see we're just right back into where we were at the open again. So it's a nice move up. Base gets to 12,500. I mean, the high is 12,486 or so, though 13, 14 handles away from 500. And then we've pulled all the way back in right now. So the market does feel a little bit weak, which is why right now, I don't know if you guys can see, I'm short Meta, and I'm short Tesla, and I'm short SI. The only long that we have on board is this Google trade. So I still like Apple short. We've missed it here. And I don't like it anymore at this level. I think you'd have to get back upside, if anything, for Apple, because we're talking about Apple. I would wait for this 153.50 50, and then maybe you hold that down here to 153 or so. Then you got to give yourselves at least 50 cents worth of a room on a stock like Apple. But hey, still 2.2%, so it's still stronger than the market. Let's see if Apple can't keep it going here and possibly bounce off. I mean, it needs to be lower than this, but maybe we bounce $1 lower. I don't know. We're going to wait and just watch out for Tesla. We missed that 192 bottom on Tesla. That sucked.
Yeah, to me, what sucked was this morning going over Apple. It's like, you know, I was looking at one level pretty much. I didn't really think we'd get anything down at like 150 for longs, but on the daily, hey, you know, look at the resistance at 156. That's the price. I like it for short, but you know, that doesn't, calls don't matter, trades do at the end of the day. And the opportunity cost of looking at multiple stocks, to say this over and over again because it's true, is that you might miss out on something. You can set an alert all you want, but if you're in 4 or 5 positions and you know fighting short Coinbase and short Silvergate and whatever other names at that particular time, Alibaba was trading that one as well. Yeah, 156 happened. It was in the afternoon when we were in a meeting, but that's also not a bit of an excuse when it did the over-under. And I think, look, I'm looking back at this entire 154 to 153 and a half area. That makes sense for a dip buy here because the 156 short is come and gone. So I liked it. It doesn't matter. It didn't actually grab that this morning, or this afternoon, I should say, because it was at lunchtime, the second time it really gave you that trade. And still up 2%. I think the investor day is probably going to be a big event. Interesting that Goldman jumps on the wagon now. We'll see what happens. But if we get down to 153.50, I think the money fills are in that range if the market takes one more step down.
Names to consider this afternoon. SI, one of those. More downside today, obviously, along with the rest of the crypto group, essentially. As I mean, there's really no clear end to this yet. No one's actually come out and said, yeah, they're going bankrupt or they're going into insolvency. There's just this long, long list of different crypto companies that are not going to deal with them anymore. And they also came out over the weekend then and said this Silvergate exchange network is going to be shut down completely. So not much in the way of positivity here for SI, although I did read an article over lunchtime suggesting there may be some investors lining up to pick up the pieces here, guys.
Yeah, I mean, the
Nice.
Silvergate exchange is like a big part of it. That's, you know, one of the biggest reasons their business kind of was strong in the first place and money coming out of them. Okay, maybe somebody bails them out, but you know, I've been looking at short pops in this, and this is the second day in a row where outside of the open, it actually rallied into a move. Now, it's going to look okay that I was patient shorting this name, but I can tell you right now that's not the case because I was short Coinbase while this was doing this. So when Silvergate made the high up to like 635, 635 was Friday, and if you pull back just a little bit further, you can see going back to Thursday as well, you had some resistance at the 20 and then 665. So in that range, that's where the short was, in front of those resistance from last week. But I was short Coinbase on the way up and had lost multiple times before I got into Silvergate. So I've been short at 6 up to like the six quarter area. I'm in it now, and it's been okay, but it's worth mentioning, man. This cannot seem to break this 590, can't seem to take out VWAP. I was actually holding more than half the position every single time. It wouldn't get past 15. It's like, okay, take a little more out, take a little more out because it doesn't want to fall. So this has been relatively strong to its credit. Meanwhile, it's almost funny, except it's not that funny. Coinbase, on the other hand, right when I stopped shorting Coinbase, it's like I stopped shorting Coinbase and then moved my attention over to Silvergate, and this is what happens to Coinbase. Sometimes that's just how it goes. You know, like you move from one to the other. At the moment, Silvergate was at what I thought was a more key level. Coinbase was breaking out that 69 high. That was giving some money fills in Silvergate at the time. So I don't go back to Coinbase. It was a huge mistake, clearly, because that short has followed through. And not like Silvergate's going to be an okay stock, especially if it gets through VWAP. It'll be one of my better stocks today. But there's no question that simply just sticking with the Coinbase short up in the high 60s was the way to go. So, you know, it's going to happen to you. You just got to be able to acknowledge, stick to your guns. I was looking at this and really only looking to play retracements. I was picking my spots with it. I just got off of it and went to another name when it gave you the money entry right back here at 69.
I mean, that's what's frustrating about it. I mean, we were playing back and forth with Coinbase and SI as well. Today, though, just SI. We're still in this short. So, like, we still have this short. I still like it here. Let's see if it can continue to work. We've just been getting out now because it's not moving. So I was waiting for VWAP to come through. We're still short this. Our only loss on this was the early short. Since then, we've been pretty good. We did get stopped out at 6:30, but we got right back in it. And then that quick stop out was like 20, or not even 20 cents. That was 20s, 25s, out 31. So like maybe 10 cents at most worth of a hit. Now, of course, we're short 25 and watching this thing start to fall in. Hopefully we can break the bank a little bit here, just like Silvergate Bank, and head below 580. And then we'll see about a retracement back in right now. So yeah, man, that's what we're doing. And we're looking to get some more money out of all of these names, guys, as we go. Silvergate, Tesla, we're still in that short as well. Let's see how far this one can go down.
Most of these right now. The White House saying they will continue to monitor information in the near future on crypto happenings. So they pointed directly to SI on this. Yeah, I'll read more about that, but a bit of a downtick here, guys, right now for SI and Coinbase just popping up in front of me. So we'll keep an eye on crypto negativity coming out of the White House, apparently. Danielle Shea is coming up in about 20 minutes or so, I bet. And we'll talk to her a little bit about these crypto stocks, get her opinion maybe. She's also a big fan of what is next on the board in Tesla. If you missed it this morning, price cuts coming for both the Model S, and the Model X in the US. So Tesla, guys, was on watch today as well.
I have to hear the example again.
Okay, I apologize because sometimes something gets said. We talk about what's next, and then I remembered like basically there was this boxing video back in the day. It was one of Don King's like proteges, and the guy's just like, "I'm the undisputed heavyweight champion. I want who next? Who next?" And he just kept saying next, not next.
He had a problem pronouncing the T.
He couldn't pronounce it. So I heard that. So I turned to Sean. I'm like, "Yo, you remember that video?" And he's like, "Not really. It is what it is. Like it's weird. Like we're doing this live."
No, I remember the video. I don't remember the guy's name.
I know. I can't remember his name either. So
By the way,
anyways,
meta right now.
So but thank you very much, Brendan, for bringing this news that obviously it happened. But VWAP just came in, so I finally got to fill in VWAP on Silvergate. So I'll be pretty happy to see that. Tesla was not a good one for me. However, the good thing about Tesla is I was long Tesla, which was only wrong, versus short Coinbase, which was eventually right, and actually did better on Tesla than I did on Coinbase, quite frankly, because I was willing to just take the out, and then when it did the actual test of that 95, my plan of action was to allow it to get underneath the 25 level and look for that bounce. I did get it. I got way too greedy with it. Otherwise, I actually probably be up on the stock today because I had the opportunity to be getting this one out in the 197 range. I held for the home run and then trailed out here, 196-ish. But now it's just, I actually think this same level is probably looking like a little bit of a short here on Tesla. Now that I just actually look at it, VWAP has come into play. The previous low was at 195. That's the key price. It just rejected it here. So Tesla, yeah, you might have put some price cuts on there, but it is headed to the downside. One more, just because it's not on there. We're not going to talk about it, but as it's actually doing something, and not many names are relatively strong. Snapchat's been bouncing off VWAP in this 1175 area, so it just got up here tight to like 1195 or so. I was able to get a fill out. If it breaks this, it's a flat bottom break every, obviously here up at the top. If it breaks 75, this could be an interesting short. It's not going to be on the list there, but this and Meta off the TikTok news were both pretty strong. Well, this was strong. Meta wasn't nearly as strong, but two strong names could be reversing if it takes out 1175. Just an update there, because I am still in the long. I still have half of this long, looking to get some out in front of 12.
I don't know what you just called that, but flat bottom or flat top something, you should really think about that a little more seriously.
Yeah,
because
you're right.
There's somebody else that tries to use it as well, but it's yours. So
I know. That clown.
Yeah, shout out to the professor. Wow, that clown. Okay, wow, that was a little bit. That was a little harder.
Okay,
Wow, that was a little harder than I thought there. But okay, we're just playing around.
I didn't mean it like that.
No, of course not.
I love Sharif.
Yeah. Don't we all? Okay, so sorry about that, Sharif. Didn't mean to set that up like that. There, but yeah, we're not trying to clown around a little bit here with Meta, as that just broke a little bit lower. We did get a good average price there on Meta on that short, 186.40. It just popped up there, so we shorted some more right there, and then got some more out. As we've been shorting Meta here, trying to see if that's the name that wants to take us to the promised land here. Meta to the downside right now. Look, Tesla, we're still in that same short, man. You might have heard Neil say that we were in a meeting. We were, so I did miss that 192 bottom, but I wasn't getting out anyways, so that's irrelevant. We're still short Tesla right now, off of that level, 196.50 right there. I still think we can pull back, but we are trying to bounce a little bit. We almost got all the way back to VWAP. I still think we test lower, man. This market doesn't want to turn red. If it does, I think Tesla goes further. So let's see. Tesla's actually been relatively strong over the last little while, so needs some catch up to do with this market. Back down right now, so that's what I'm looking at. SI, of course, now 40 cents in the money. On that flush down, Brendan brought the news. We just got out at 85, more of it. So that came right into VWAP, right where we thought it would. So that's a good little trade there for SI. But yeah, Tesla still lower, man. I did have a bid at 193 and canceled it when it was down here. So I still thought we were going lower. So it's a bad, not getting out at 193 is bad. Let's just see where we go. Maybe we'll be able to get some revenge on that move.
Okay, so I was reading more about this, guys. It goes back to FTX. So apparently Alameda, which was the trading side, has filed a lawsuit against Grayscale. So all of these moving downside a little bit right now. Here's GBTC, which is the Bitcoin Grayscale Trust, downside on that as well. So again, Alameda Research, I mean, I thought they were in bankruptcy, but apparently they've filed a lawsuit against Grayscale Investments, trying to unlock $9 billion in value worth of holdings. So we'll keep an eye on that, but all the crypto names downside right now. The White House actually said we'll continue to monitor reports of problems with cryptocurrencies. Great. Let's talk about China here. Still a bit of a bounce, actually. It was pretty impressive for a lot of these out of the gate this morning. Alibaba seemed to lead initially. There was a bit of a sell-off, found a bottom, and then back to the upside. But this was all tied to some data that came out overnight, some comments from Chinese officials suggesting that the growth they'll see in China this year will be nowhere near what anyone thought it was going to be.
Yeah, so I traded Baba. I'm actually in it back to the short, because I started short in Alibaba, sort of in front of that Friday high. It got taken out. It's always the accidental long that you should hold on to, but I'd covered some of this and then not all of it when I'd added back in. So I did get out, and I feel like it was the right call to get out of it. And then I thought it would clear that 91 and have room to the upside, so I worked along, got a dip buy, covered the 91s flat, and then eventually that stopped out. But what I was looking for in Snapchat kind of happened in Alibaba, like that flat bottom break that we were just mentioning. That happened already in Alibaba, so to me that was just an easy reverse. I reversed it right here, same place where we had our stop order and where we stopped out, well, not that accidental out there, that 91 break or 90.5 break. So I've been short it. It just got to 90 now, and I'm looking to see if we can flush into 89. However, here's the caveat. You'll see me not that excited about it because it's the afternoon, and it's already starting to level off a bit. So I would not be surprised if that reversal on Baba just finds its way to go sideways, 89.80 to 90. So it's in the money, great. Got to be able to reverse off a flat bottom break. Very similar setup to Snapchat, which I'm long in front of that flat bottom. But Baba almost going red on the session here. And if it does, I think it can get down to that 89. It's going to have to do it pretty quick because, you know, the market's been flushing, and it's going to run out of time at some point when these go, these Chinese ADRs. Sometimes there's no trade there, so if you're not already in it, I don't know that I'd be trading it off of this level. You know, if it breaks the level down, great. I'd rather be holding in the money than trying to engage on this in a new trade.
Mine's 17. Okay, so we just started with the professor there. He's on Google as well. Okay, so new trade idea here. What about Zoom? Zoom video right now, trying to break this very bottom. You're below VWAP, and you have some nice little cover here to where we can be wrong at 80 if it does break higher. So I kind of like this trade right now. We did just punch the short. I'm going to punch shorter if we could break back down below 40 right now. Zoom, we saw them come out last week. Decent. decent report, but there's the move down all the way from 80, I guess, down to 70. But we've had 3 nice days covering back up. And then this morning on Zoom, up to 73 and then still downside. You're in this consolidation. I just wonder if we break lower, where do we go on Zoom? Maybe we see a 7. I mean, I don't know if we see 70 today, but we could. So there we go. Do we just punch? I mean, I thought we punched shorter, but we missed it doesn't matter. There's no liquidity. We punched short here, breaking 44, and we offered 40 and didn't get any fills. So here we go. Nice downside move happening right now for Zoom. So there we go. Yes, sir. New trade alert right now. We just took this on Zoom. Look, we had this on before we talked to you about it at least. So there goes Zoom right now. I'm thinking about taking 20 pennies or so. If we can get a 30, 31, we'll take that fill right there. Short 50 on Zoom right there. We looking at that break. I wish we would have punched more. We're going to get the opportunity to get more. So let's just wait to see if it does come back up. As the futures right now thought they were thinking about breaking that bottom. Looks like for now they didn't. Let's see if they do. We're already short everything. The only long we have on is Google, and that's what the professor and I were just talking about. But right now, $2 in the money on Tesla, trying to... Oh man, I don't know. It's too close to all this. Hopefully it keeps on going down. SI as well, cracking. Let's go SI. What is that, 77? Okay, we'll put a bid at 77. Maybe we get filled on that as well, as SI is coming back in. So that's going to be good. And then Google, one last time here. It held 95, so I feel like as long as we don't break that, we'll be still good to go on Google, but that's a nice little long that we have on board right now. And there goes SI, yes sir, making it back, baby, as this one's going to the downside. And there goes Meta as well. So let's just, we just refreshed this trade right there at 41s. And again, you guys talked, I talked about this trade. Hopefully you have it with me. Let's try to get some more out though. I'll have to punch out some now. Wow, I just punched 96 and missed. So, okay, hopefully we fill back in at 96. We put an 80 and it bounced off of us almost flat there, went to 86. So oh, that sucks. Okay, hopefully we get a downside press here for Meta and we're able to get out again. Oh man, that's retracing all the way back. Nice move backside for Meta. Yeah, watch out, man. We got to get something out next time it comes back down, as the future is not doing anything, as you can see, but Meta bouncing. I don't have a name in China that we're short, but we just did take 20 quick cents on ZM. So let's see if Zoom continues to go down. We'll put a bid at 71.
All right, just saw Roku popping back up here to the downside once again at day lows, essentially, now down 1.5%. This presentation, it would appear, was over, I want to say. It started at 125, so exactly an hour ago. The last comment to come out of it was simply that the transition from market share to profits, that was from the CEO, is well underway. But they didn't like this. They were at that Morgan Stanley Tech and Media Conference that kicked off today in New York, I believe it is. But downside here for Roku. I had semiconductors on the board there, but I mean, there's semiconductors in Rokus, I'm sure. The rundown, guys, PM Rundown brought to you by Trade Ideas, real-time scanning and alerting used on this desk, and many of the traders you see on this show rely on it heavily. See what is moving in the market on a real-time basis with Trade Ideas. Check out the link in the description for 20% off. Trader TV 20 is the promo code for that. Not a good look here for Roku. I talked about this on the Week Ahead video this weekend. The very, very busy week for these investor conferences this week. This was one of them.
It's not a good look for them, and quite frankly, there's nothing that positive to say about this, especially when you look at what just happened at 66 and is getting that daily chart up so you can see it. But it's maybe just as good here. You were on the way to breaking out. On what looked like kind of like an obvious resistance area, 66. You were breaking out away from it off the open. That's a strong, strong move. And then defecate over yourself, reestablish that level. Now you have a false breakout. You got some trap longs in this bad boy above that 66 on this breakout. So this is going to fall. And I do think if it gets anywhere near 66 again, it's probably a bit of a short on Roku. Not in it, obviously, but as the market continues to get weak, I just took another leg out of Snapchat. And it's really more about the fact that, look, it's up 12%. It's one of the last kind of things standing, kind of holding VWAP, looking pretty strong from this morning. But these are getting pretty shallow. It's not screaming back into the upside. So these bounces, at some point, could take out 1175. So I'm going to just bank a little bit out here. It's been giving you this all afternoon. I know we were talking about it in the midday show to a few people. So it's strong for now. But like anything else, that flat bottom break comes in. Snapchat looks like a short to me beneath 1175. So you gotta get ready for what can happen. It's not just about what is working or what you happen to be in that particular moment. With this breaks down, it may be long now, but I am looking short underneath that support right here on Snapchat.
I mean, we had that same NVIDIA trade, which was a good one. Now it's back down below now 37. So we got stopped out right there before it ripped back up. And right now, this is a good flat bottom break right here on NVIDIA. Also, I mean, there's lots of good trade. This is why we took Zoom. And Zoom worked, but it's right back up. So we'll have to wait to see. I mean, whatever. We're 10 cents in the money on Zoom. We're not taking anything like that. But that looks like a good little break right there on NVIDIA, right? Below everything, looking good. You have your out at 237. I actually like this play on NVIDIA to the short side as well, as this market trying to fall apart again right now. But I feel like you got to give it up to here, 238 or so. So that would be a pretty nice move if we get back. I just don't know if there's enough volume or oomph in this market right now to sort of create moves down. I mean, like we think there might be. But I don't know. I mean, this is what the NASDAQ's looking like right here. See, you're starting to move back up, so we're just getting into Meta. So right now the market's flying a little bit. Meta trying to go back upside. We just got another short against, I thought it was 80s or so. I'm going to find out where my out is on Meta here because we got to have one. And we'll look for that in a second.
Yeah, just one quick one here. We're through the rundown. We can go. I see a lot of people talking about Coinbase. 63.5 was the morning low. I know people were talking about the 64 level on Coin, but really, you got the afternoon here, 63.5. You have 63.5 in the morning. Ooh, Snapchat just did something. That's pretty good. Snapchat's at 12. Nice. Yep. So 63.5 would be where I'm looking for any kind of a bounce. It's already giving you one leg here. I gotta respect the fact that while this is happening, already in Silvergate. Let's not forget, before looking for another trade. So as Coin is essentially testing that level, you just broke VWAP, gave the fills 75, got some out there. I actually had 76, and now you're right back above VWAP on Silvergate. So, you have to respect the fact that Silvergate's actually the stronger of the two in this. It's weird to say, but it's actually true right now. The stronger of the two on the day holding up VWAP. If Coin were to bounce, market to bounce, Silvergate to bounce, I need to be getting some more shares out of Silvergate, not just thinking about is Coinbase giving along, but we just rang register on Snapchat. It just got up to that $12 level, 97 technically I took some out. I want to have a piece of this if it breaks the high of the day. If the market makes a rally from here, I mean, Snapchat's been a pretty strong name. So I'm going to get an offer out in front of the high of the day, and then if it breaks, I'm looking to hold. I will reload this in front of VWAP. So if it does make a bit of a dip, I'm willing to go to the well one more time, at least until it runs dry. It's been a good level. I just wish I had it that first time it bounced off, not just the second and third.
All right, so that was a nice move up there. We're getting right back to the 50 period as the market's starting to go. And yeah, the short meta may not be very good. We just got a whole bunch of shorts there coming in, and we're waiting for 187 right there to break on meta. So whoops, it looks like it wants to break right now as this market's getting going again. I don't know where we just bounced off of there, 12,340 or something. It's not really super key to me, but here goes meta. Huge move, not huge move, but it's straight. If you take this away, it's a straight move up right here on Meta. Started at 23s, now we're at 80. So like, I don't know. I like this short, but it looks like they're trying to take down 187. So as Neil was talking about Snapchat there, these names have other things in them. So yeah, Meta's been strong. It's strong today, but it's not like so strong. That's why I thought I would short it, thinking that maybe the air was out of it, but no. I mean, the market just picks it back up. It looks like Meta's starting to go right back up to the upside. So this is going to be an L right here as we take out 187 on Meta. So there it is. So we tried the short, and there it goes, blowing to the upside. There goes Meta. Nice upside move right here.
Yeah, I'm thinking I should have just jumped right into that coin. I was being cautious with it. I'm like, let's wait for the fills under 64. Given how big that level is, it just doesn't look like you're going to get them the way this market's going. So pretty strong move in the market. I don't know. I'm not going to chase coin. I was about to talk myself into it, but I'm not going to do it. I'm just moving on over to Tesla here because this is, there it is. This is right back in at VWAP. This wick did not happen. It's just dark pool wick that came in. Did not really break out from this VWAP spot. So if it wants to reject here, these are sort of like the fills. Between 195 and 195.50 aren't bad, but I think kind of looking at the fills from here to 96 are a little bit better. Because looking at where the resistance was, I'd much rather be getting 195 half to 196 short than going in front and then having to hold it 50 to 60 cents against me. So I am looking for a bit of a pop, just a little bit more to short in Tesla here, and I'll be patient logging off the bottom on coin. I think we can still get beneath 64 for any longs, as I just heard we are ready for our guest. So let's go over to Brennan, and our favorite guest is back.
As promised, yes, a little bit early this afternoon, but that's okay. Danielle Shea is VP of Options at Simpler Trading, back with us again for a brand new week. I like this because we can kind of look ahead at what is to come instead of kind of looking back at what has already happened. Ms. Shea, what do you think about, I want to get your opinion here just to kick things off about this crypto mess that continues to seemingly unwind. Silvergate, obviously the latest to be in significant trouble here. I've had a number of people reach out today saying, what do we do with this? Is there a trade at this point? I mean, we're sitting at $6 right now for Silvergate, but if it is a not going to end well type of situation, how do you approach that from an option standpoint?
You know, when you look at the whole crypto situation, to me, it's just another sign of the big bubble that popped. And when you're looking at trading possibilities, I mean, honestly, the best one to trade is going to be Coinbase. So if I look over and I see if there's any, opportunities as it relates to options in this space, I'm looking at Coinbase. But I mean, I can't even see on this chart that there's a good shorting opportunity based off of the fact that there's this really nice consolidation. You're holding up above the 200 simple, you're holding up above the 8 and 21 EMA. So honestly, Coinbase looks bullish here, which when you take into account the crypto blow up plus the fact that Coinbase looks bullish, they're not in confluence. So for me, that's a do not trade situation because I like ideas that are in confluence.
I love that concept in the sense that sometimes the best thing to do is to do nothing at all. In this case, it might be that. I mean, outside of a day trade here and there or something, if it's moving, obviously over a couple of days, it might be better just to, as you said, stay on the sidelines. Huge week as far as the overall market is concerned with Jerome Powell coming through the next couple of days. We get non-farm payrolls coming up on Friday. Let's start wide here and work our way into individual names. What are you looking at as far as the market is concerned? And how do you go into a day or 2 days in a row here, like what's to come tomorrow and Wednesday with Powell testifying?
So when you look at the price action over the course of the past couple of days, I think the most important factor was the fact that the put call ratio got really high and everybody was short. So, we saw a little bit of a short squeeze in the indexes. When you flip over to the NASDAQ in particular, you can see the way that the NASDAQ bounced right off of the 50 simple. And whenever you get a bounce like that, at the 50 simple, you're going to have a situation where you can generally trade some, short squeezes to the upside. But I think that the guys were right, that momentum is waning right now. So I would actually say that, this short squeeze looks like it's about over, especially going into Powell this week. So let's look for some things that we can short in addition to some earnings calls. So looking at some of the names the guys were looking at, I also like Amazon. I think Amazon's trading directly up into resistance, and I think that's another one we could short to the downside.
Going into what's going to be probably the most important day of the week, which would be Friday, with this non-farm payrolls number. If we go back to last month, that absolute blowout report was essentially what kicked off that last round of selling. We're getting to a point in the overall market where there's a lot of resistance above, and maybe the path of least resistance is back to the downside.
Oh, definitely. I think in the long term, the path of least resistance is to the downside. Of course, when you get those shorter term moves, I mean, it's a lot of fun to come in and trade them on a near term basis. But ultimately, on the weekly chart patterns, I mean, you have a situation where you've got these major head and shoulders patterns. You have a downwards trend. And there's just a lot of overhead resistance, not just in the technicals, but also on the macro standpoint. So I think, shorter term upside trade, but right now, everything's going to be focusing on Mr. Powell this week, and we're probably going to see some more downside.
All right, let's talk about some individual names here. Still, we're through earnings essentially, but there are still a few notable names that are coming up this week. You obviously keep a close eye on those. One of them in the chip sector, not one that we typically look at on a day trade type of a basis, but give me your thoughts on Broadcom here, AVGO.
So when you look at AVGO, the reason why I like this ticker is because they've done really well on earnings in the past. We've seen a lot of gap ups. And when you have a ticker that does that on a regular basis, what I like to do is I like to monitor them and either trade them right before earnings, which with Broadcom, I did actually do that in the options market. I sold some put credit spreads, which I ended up buying back the next day. But another thing that you can do as a day trader is you want to watch for the tickers that have what I call 2x moves. So that's going to be twice what the market is expecting them to do. So if they end up having this big gap up, a lot of times they'll continue going for a few days after that, and you can ride that momentum.
Your note here on Dick's Sporting Goods as well coming out this week. They've beaten 11 of 12 of the past quarters. That's something I would not have guessed. But talk about DKS a little bit.
So the reason why I like this one is because it's so close to the all-time high, and it also has 15% short interest. Whenever you have a ticker that is close to the high like that, you have a nice cup and handle pattern on the daily chart. The market maker moves about $11, $12. That would bring you within range of an all-time high, and it would also, you know, send short sellers running for their lives. So that's why I like to watch that one. If this one does end up beating and trading higher tomorrow, you could get a nice short squeeze to trade during the day.
All right, another one that's coming up this week. Again, not really one of those stocks that we talk about a lot on a regular basis, but around earnings can give you those outside range type of moves. Ulta Beauty is what I'm talking about, ULTA. A decent looking chart if you go out to a higher time frame.
You know, I love Ulta, and I love that it doesn't get that much attention because it's one of those, you know, slow and steady names that's kind of in the background that you can trade on a trending basis. And so sometimes, you know, especially when you're a shorter term time frame trader and you're just looking for a chart that's going to move with the trend, that's exactly what you're looking for. Now, I personally love Ulta and I love shopping there, and I know that they love to take my money. So it's another reason why I like to trade it. But when you're looking at this one, I mean, you can see the nice bullish pattern and you can see the way that it's crushed it on earnings. I mean, last quarter, they were estimated to make about $4 and they made over $5. They did pull back slightly after earnings last quarter, but I would just take that as I would just look at that and say, hey, you know what? It rallied so strong going into the earnings report. So that's why it pulled back a little bit last quarter. But overall, it normally trades higher. You're going to have to use your charts because my charts, I don't know what's wrong with them right now, but they decided to freeze. So if you can throw up one of your charts, that would be great.
That's, you know what? We have that problem on an ongoing basis. So all good. For anyone wondering, Thursday after the close, I want to say, is Ulta Beauty. As far as a possible opportunity there, how would you approach that?
So I would just look at it in the options market as an opportunity to sell put credit spreads. So normally when I have a ticker that I'm bullish on going into earnings, I will usually sell some put credit spreads on it the day before it reports, or, you know, if it's reporting in the afternoon, you can also just do it in the afternoon that same day. Another thing that you can do in the options market is you can place a bullish trade that will last another week or two, and you can target the overhead target. So my target on Ulta is going to be 550. So you could place a call debit spread, you could place a call butterfly, targeting up into that zone a couple weeks after, because what will happen sometimes is these companies will come out and they'll have a nice earnings report and it'll gap up and then it'll kind of keep going along with the trend in the weeks after the report.
All right, you had MongoDB on here, MDB, which is another one that's reporting this week as well. Not, again, in that same kind of category, gives you a move or a potential move around earnings, but otherwise not really one that we typically look at on a day-to-day basis. However, I wanted to mention Tesla, because yet again today, Elon comes out with more price cuts in the US this time on the S, on the X. Does this matter? And they were also talking, I saw during lunch hour, a little bit more about the investment that's going to happen into Mexico. What are your thoughts on Tesla at this point after that, let's be honest, bit of a disappointment last week?
You know what? Well, first of all, let's talk about the event last week. That's I mean, literally happens every single time Tesla has any kind of news related event. And for that reason, I like to trade Tesla higher into any news related event and trade it lower afterwards, because every single time, the media comes out and says, oh, he doesn't have a plan and, let's short the stock. And so I think that one's pretty predictable. So I actually think that after the event last week, it's pulled it back into a really nice spot and it's consolidating and it could take off again. Now, as it relates to the new news, I mean, to be 100% honest, I think that Elon is just trying to mess with Joe Biden, because I think that he was a little bit upset that his cars weren't underneath the price point where people could get a tax rebate. So I think it's kind of funny that, the new laws came out about tax rebates for EVs, and then all of a sudden he cut the prices just so the cars would fit into that category. So that's what I think about that. And I do think that it is bullish in the long term for Tesla, because I'm always a Tesla bull.
Yeah, very, very clear, obviously, line in the sand on that chart anyways. But Elon playing Elon games, as Elon typically does. We appreciate the information, as always. Danielle Shea is VP of Options over at Simpler Trading. Best of luck this week. It's going to be a fun one, no doubt, heading towards Friday.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Danielle Shea.
Elon playing games. I agree with you.
Smart, though. I mean, that makes perfect sense.
It does make perfect sense. That's why we love having Danielle on, and she does a fantastic job. And I know sometimes we get to do extra questions. If you have, Danielle's going to be on once a week on Mondays, guys. So if you have questions, throw them in. Let us know, DM in any one of us, or before she comes on Monday, just let us know what you guys are interested in. Now, just this morning, because I'm about to get, I just started getting filled here. So I said this morning, I forget who it was, who I think it was Tisha in the chat, Intel 26, well, I wanted to get there. So you had this wick bottom on Friday, right off of 26 even. The second time it tests through, I'm kind of thinking it's probably not going to bounce exactly at 26. Usually that's not how it goes. So did the kind of under, over, or whatever you're supposed to call these things. It breaks 26, makes a low at 98. Now I'm getting kind of this little bit of a dip pullback. Give it to the low of the day. Can it get to VWAP is the question that I want answered here, because the market breaks the channel up. I'm just looking for this holding that 26 level a second time in the last week. So I'm going to get my stop order in. If it cracks a low, I'm out of it. And if we get to VWAP, fantastic. That can work to the upside. Snapchat's having all kinds of trouble with this $12 level. So here's another test at it. I'm not taking anything out this time, and I still like to reload, but it's going to need to get through this. Like, if it doesn't get through 12 even, then the next dip, if the market's flushing, I might decide I don't want to add back into this. For now, I still like it. Relatively strong name here, but I'm not going to take anything else out until either breaks this channel down, try to get a reload, or breaks up and gives me something north of the $12 level, because that's been a big one. I want to make sure I get that out. And Silvergate's kind of, I don't know, I needed to retake VWAP here, obviously, underneath it, but it's about to test that now. So this is a big test. If it does not make a fresh low, then I might have to start considering the fact that it's putting up a good support level right around this 575 and need to cover more.
So we put up a good fight on Meta, but I mean, it did break above 187 there. And yeah, this has been, oh man, it's kind of like a good thing we didn't go to Danielle Shea. I was like really wrapped up in this. We shorted this all the way up, and then eventually it almost broke that 187.25. I mean, that VWAP is 187.50. So now that Meta's coming back in, hopefully we can take a little bit of an advantage of this and then let it fall back down. I said to Neil, I was going to get some out at 187. I did that when it broke higher, but I still held on. And then we got some 187.20s there, basically against a 30, or a 50. But Meta right now, despite the market being at its lows, like Meta's not, which is what I'm like thinking that Meta still has a ways to go, like $1 more. Like that seems dramatic, but I think it can get down there, but first steps is the move down. So, it needs to get going downside. We have good shares, man. It's not just a couple hundred shares, but we still have some good size here. We're short at 187, so let's get something out. There you go, got to 65. I'm just taking small pieces out. I really want to be able to hold this all the way. Like I think, and we can. I mean, we can do that. I mean, that's not a big deal. We're going to wait for 186. So long story short, we'll probably take some more out as we go to the downside there. We just had a I didn't even realize we had that bid. We had a 54 there that just got filled, so that was good. Now we're starting to push down a little bit, so let's go. Nice little downside move in. Put something like in the 30s maybe to get a piece out. We're just trying to get little pieces out here on Meta as we break lower here now. So ZM, I mean, you guys want to talk about something. This is, again, another name that we just gave right to you. Right now, like, just as we went off air there. Look at this, 71.60, 71.40 downside here for Zoom. So let's go, man. This is working out well for us. Zoom, yes. Right in there, man. Good trade on that one as that's come right back in. Come on, Meta, do your damn thing and get lower right now to that downside for Meta. We'll take a fill there at 48. Now let's start pushing this down here for Meta. We can get that in the pocket as well. And then the only thing left to crack right here is Tesla. Tesla's been a short for me. We've been holding this the whole time. We just need to get like to this 50 period, 194.50. Hopefully that can come in. Really happy with Zoom though, and real happy with Meta, man. Meta's going to be a nice positive stock for us today, despite all this damage that we've done here to ourselves and all these shorts. But there we go. Yes, sir. We just got a 33 fill. Wow. Spin the money right now. $1 in the money on Google, 70 cents in the money on Meta. We just gave this Meta trade, man. $2 in the money on Tesla, 40 cents in the money on Zoom. I don't know, man, even a reload there on Zoom as well. Really happy. This so far so good. This is the kind of day that we're hoping for, and we're almost in power hour.
Almost minutes away from power hour. This is why I didn't want to chase that Coinbase move to the upside. The flat bottom break is right here. If it bounces off this level, it's got a chance that it can go. But it's not a clean flat bottom. But 63.50 is definitely a monster level here for Coinbase. That's what actually has to hold. I think that's what's holding Silvergate up as well. So no need to make a big decision there. Another flat bottom break, which could be happening any second now. I'm already in Alibaba. Sometimes these ADRs don't move in the afternoon. But look, if this takes out this channel here, there's just entirely too much beneath it not to take a shot at it. I know 90 is kind of a bit of a stop out there. So a couple of names that could be flat bottom breaking. I want to be very patient. The market is in a little bit of a lull. Like, it's so easy to overtrade when you see this happening. Like, here's the ES right now, right? Like, this is, when you zoom way out and kind of look at this on the week, this is the little range that we're in right here. That is all of 7 handles on the S&P 500 futures. It's nothing. We're not moving right now. We break this to the downside, you can trend down, go 3x that. You break this channel to the upside, you can go 4 or 5x that move. So it's easy to get chopped up in a situation like this and overtrade. Now you break out of a range, I'm all for it. I want to add to the BOVESPA short if we break out of the range to be sure. On Snapchat, I like the fact that it's trending to the upside, but this is another one that's just setting up, begging to be reversed here. If it does, then I'm going to jump into the short, but I need to have that actually happen. Coinbase just made the bounce I was looking for. Oh, you hit enter too fast, and this mysterious NZ market always comes in. It just bounced off 63.50. That held. I was waiting for the test of that level to try to get the long off of that. So come on, don't want to chase it too far. Don't make me chase. There we go. Got some 68s there. Did not want to have to chase that into the 70s. But now suddenly, if it doesn't break this level, then I have the long for potentially up to $1, and I'm only risking about 25 to 30 cents on the trade, as opposed to chasing the move up here when the support was all the way down to 50. Look, if it breaks, I'm kind of already short here in Silvergate, so that's going to obviously be good. And yes, I saw in the chat saying it was a great short on Coinbase off 69. I know. I went to Silvergate anyways. I stopped shorting it at that price. But now it's a matter of it holding that 63.50 to the bottom side. And similar with Intel, like flat bottom breaks across the board. Tight stops on all of these longs, with the exception, Snapchat's not as tight of a stop. It's just a VWAP, but that's a strong name anyways.
All right.
Awesome.
I mean, Meta definitely falling down here. So, yeah, man, we just got a couple more shares out right there. We got some 86.30s. We got an 86.21 as well. So this is what we're going on. What's up, Ponzi Fonzie? I like that. Sean Corleone. I like that. Let's just keep on going with that, man. Yeah, we're sort of like in our little black shirt here, so maybe that is what it is. But, yeah, everything's starting to flush down now. So far, so good, man. I mean, all we really need, we just need Tesla to drop. If Tesla Tesla can drop, then we're really starting to bank out right now on some of these calls. So if Tesla can come back in, that'd be fantastic. We're now 70 cents in the money on Meta, and I don't know, man. Google just keeps on bouncing down here. I feel like there are longs, but I don't want to. It's just, you know, I say this all the time, but like trade your book for sure. But like, I don't want to go long on anything right now. We're far down. We've broken this low of the day here on the futures and, you know, low of the open market. And I think there's more to go here. Why can't we get to zeros? I mean, let's just wait to see. The ES is also approaching zeros right now, only up 0.12 at 4,054. So, I mean, and there we go. Like, Meta just bumps up a little bit and comes right back in. Mind all these trades. I mean, like, again, and it was just funny because we have a new group of traders in here, and I was just telling them, like, I can't hold anything right there to the downside. So we talked about having those hundreds of shares of Meta, and then, you know, now we still have hundreds minus some of these fills. So when it comes all the way to the bottom, I don't have the whole load on, but that's okay. You got to, like I said, man, you got to trade and work with your own sort of issues and what you're working with here on a stock like Meta or whatever you're trading. But Zoom was pretty good, at least. We got double outs there at 71. So again, Zoom came right into these levels. Do we still think Zoom has a chance to break? Yes, we do. But we think it can go a lot. I mean, if it's going to break, if this market's going to get to zeros, like we said, then I think Zoom gets at least, I don't know. I think we get down here to 70 or so. And that's kind of the target that we'll be looking for the continuation of our out there. But see, then I see something like this happen, and then I'm like, you know what? See, this is my problem. Now I got to get out of more Meta because it just broke the 50 period. We've seen this happen before. Now it's ripping back up to the upside. So, you know, these stocks are very volatile right now with not that much liquidity. It might look like there is, but every single one of these shares is just 100, right? Every one you see on here is represented by 100 shares. So like 300 shares, it's very light, let alone all this, you know, volume in the dark pool, unfortunately, gets done as well. But it can move around like real quick. So like punching in and out of levels, like if someone right now wants 5,000 long in Meta, this thing's going to 70 just by that trader punching in, which is why we talk about the market on close orders and everything like that and why they're so important. It's because people are using those order types to find liquidity, right? So that's that trade. But let's get another piece out, like mid 50s if we can. We're sitting right there at 54, so we take a piece out. Maybe if it drops even lower, we'll get another piece out in the 40s. But well, yeah, you know what? I just lowered. I'll get out a half of what I had there in the 40s. Now in the low 40s, 41 we're sitting at. Hopefully that will give it to us, and we'll watch out for Meta. But I like this short coming in again. It's still up on the day. Maybe we can find something that's red. Danielle mentioned Amazon. You guys know Amazon's a friend of mine.
You want to look at that daily chart on Amazon.
We'll look at that.
I was looking at that when Danielle brought it up. Oh my goodness, Amazon looks like a fantastic short at some of these levels if it holds up. But a couple of things here. Rang the register on coin. Waited. Instead of don't chase the move. Market ain't moving. Allow it to bounce off the actual support at 63.50. Once it did that, you know, paid up by about 20 cents or so, get some one-to-ones out. Now if it comes up and breaks his channel upside, you're holding in the money. I can stop out at the low of the day and be essentially flat on this trade if it happens. The last one that we did, the other one was Intel. There we go, hit enter twice, and that's how it works. So Intel breaking that 26, allow it to break, same sort of thing, then get the long, tight to the bottom, starts working back up to VWAP with Intel. If it goes to VWAP, you got to be happy with it. And someone in the chat said, I think Intel's going to 17. We're day trading, just to get that out of the way. For anyone that's tuning in, this is a day trading show. I'm not here to tell you that Intel is trending to the upside or that Intel is going to $30. All I'm here to say is it's an up down at that 26. Look for the long, risk 5 pennies, start to get it out when it goes 1-to-1. At some point, Intel breaks this flat bottom. I'm here for it. I've been looking for this mostly to the short side, but it's been bouncing the last couple of days when it made that triple bottom, essentially just beneath 25 even. The day that level goes, I'm short the stock when 24.50 breaks on Intel. There's zero question about it, but it's found some support down here. And as a day trader, that means there will be some opportunities for some scalp trades on longs in a name like Intel. Baba just broke, and why did I not get filled? That's a good question. Where's my fill? Gimme always gets.
Amazon, Meta, man, here comes the move. Hopefully we can get this fill. We're sitting at 11s right now to the downside. That bottom was, what, 15 before there? I mean, I don't want to be, like, too specific, but we just reloaded this at 187 like 20 minutes ago. So, you know, the fact that we can maybe take 80 cents here, I still think Meta has a lot of more room to go to the downside. So let's just try to get something out at 11, and then we'll watch out for 86. I mean, what does this chart look like again? All right, so we've already gotten out here a couple times at this downside, but then we never broke. We never broke 186, or we did. I mean, there.
Awesome.
There's a fill for $1. That we and Zoom right now is trying to break 71 as well, so that's going to be good. But we've already gotten numerous outs down here. So this is very familiar territory for us. It just sucks, like I said, to not have all the shares. But we just keep getting it out and keep putting Meta, nicely done, in the pocket right now today. Meta may wind up being the number, well, Google should be the number one name net-wise here today. But still, if Meta can continue to fall, this will take over number one spot today. So hopefully it can come back in. We're still waiting for a 186 to break. That's the last level. And then if we can get lower, man, I think it's push, push, push. The NASDAQ still has to get to zeros. We're still right here. There still is a lower move coming, I feel like, in the NASDAQ. Amazon's already down, so you guys know, regardless of Danielle Shea, that's fine. I'm glad that she likes it, but it doesn't, for me, that's irrelevant. Like, I've really liked shorting this name for a long time. It's just, today we're not in it, so that's all. But $95, what a great level that we just bounced off right there. So maybe we can look at that tomorrow. I mean, it's only 3 o'clock now. There's lots more to this day still, but that's a decent level right there, 95. If we can get back up, and then 95.50 again, maybe is where you stop out. So going short 95 into this 95.50. If we get a rally today, I'm holding on to all these shorts, so I don't know if we're going to get a rally, but SI right now,
keeps holding this level.
It's kind of just doing nothing right there. Google's kind of doing nothing as well, although we are getting ready to punch out of this. Like, I want Google to absolutely crash because right now I have 8, it's not exactly 8 times the shares, but I have a lot more shares in Meta than I do here in Google. So we're going to watch out for that. If we do break VWAP here, 95.17, that's probably going to be an out. And then, I mean, here goes Meta right now, trying to break 186 again. So that best out that we have for Meta, I think we should get another out right here, like 92, 93. Let's put something in the mid-90s, get a piece out if it does go back below, and then we'll work off that trade. So right now, Meta downside, we could punch out, put that to our number one stock, but I still think, as maybe you guys do as well, that there's still some more downside here in this market.
So, and just another thing for you guys here, like, obviously we're live trading, so we're not going to be perfect in terms of being able to see everything that comes in the chat. Trust me, we do our absolute best. I know AMV is moving. I know AMAM is moving as well. I am looking at AMAM, and it's at a pretty big level. We're about to go to Brendan, but I just want to point this sucker out because it is on a tear. And look, on the off chance, I don't think it's going to happen. So let me just get that out of the way. I'm not saying it's going to this price, but on the off chance this makes another parabolic move through $12, there is room to 14, 15, where to me that is an obvious short if it were to get to $15. I'm getting that one out of the way on the off chance it gets up there. Brendan, what's up, bud? No?
Hey guys, into the final hour we go here. 60 minutes left, and we are still kind of chopping around the overall break-even mark on the day. Shout out to our friends at Seeking Alpha. Yeah, Powell testimony in focus coming up tomorrow. We're back to basically where we started the day for the most part. Jobs data to end the week on Friday as well in focus after what happened last month with the non-farm payrolls number. Remember, it was a huge, huge monster upside print. S&P 500, 0.13 only left now, 0.04 for the Dow. Look at the Russell 2000 here, all kinds of weakness, 1.5 to the downside for the Russell 2000, 0.3 still for the NASDAQ 100, the composite basically at that break-even level right now. Roku's still struggling, 2%, presenting at that Morgan Stanley conference. NVIDIA was actually at that Morgan Stanley conference presenting this morning as well. No significant headlines from them, however. 2.5 here for NIO. Just had a near day low alert on that one, guys.
Hello.
Yes, this is my way of segueing from that to Atlas Motor Vehicles. From NIO to Atlas Motor Vehicles. This is the other name. I know everyone was talking about this on the chat. It just got to $1. Pretty much exactly. Look, 10% short float is not even the bigger deal here. It's got a 9, well, depending on where you look at what source, either 9 million, 13 million, distinction without a difference, who cares? When it's $1 and the float is that small, then understand that it has done 2 million shares already on the day and just tried the test to $1. It got to 99.9 cents. That's why I kind of said it tongue-in-cheek that it got to $1 because it's still a penny stock for now. Just want to point out that I think it was last week, or at least maybe a week and a half ago, whatever this was, I was able to break this level. So it's been above very recently. That doesn't mean this dollar is insignificant. I just don't think psychologically it's big as before. This is pop in the daily. I think 110 is the bigger hurdle here. This gets through 110, it's got room to rally. So I am watching it. I am about to pay for some locates because if it breaks one, doesn't get through the 110 level, there's a short off that 110 that sets up, at least from what I'm looking at. I did get that fill eventually in Alibaba. To add to the short on the little bit of a flat bottom break. Didn't really accelerate. I still have some shares from up here, so my blended price is actually going to end up being 90, but there's just too much of a gap to fill. If the market takes out the bottom, it's hard to imagine BABA not giving you a win off these shorts. And finally, Silvergate seems like it's breaking. I have a bid down here in the 60s. Finally looks like it's actually going to be falling apart here, taking out some of these lows. I'm waiting at 65, then in front of 550s, but I'm about to get some AMV shorts. Atlas Motor Vehicles.
Yeah, that Ambrx Biopharma moving to the NASDAQ next Friday, so that should be a good...
MM, right?
MM, yeah. So that's a name that's moving around. AM today. Again, moving over to the oops. Must be an Amex trade, right? Amex right now. So, no, it's New York.
So
must be New York. I don't know. I must just be moving around. Again, so heading into the NASDAQ. He said moving to the NQ next Friday, says Brendan. So that doesn't happen too often. So anyways, nice move up. I don't know if it's going to go into some sort of ETFs or maybe it already is or whatever, but huge move up for AMAM. I find that that's strange, moving from one major to another and creating this kind of a sort of hype around it. But still, good move.
Matter.
Yeah, it should not matter, correct. But, you know, life's not fair as we move on. So, yeah, just like Silvergate there, we re-rang that register right there at 573 as well. Nice move to the downside. There goes Silvergate right now. Man, we got some revenge on this name. What's up, Brendan?
Yeah, it's an ADR guy, so maybe that could be part of the reason. But here's a note this morning, came out just after 9 o'clock on this thing. So to begin, or expected to begin, trading on the NASDAQ on March 17th, and they're going to keep the AMAM ticker.
It's okay. So suddenly, I was basically looking at from like shares available, float, you know, how much it's running, and sort of like the squeeze, like that squeeze play. I'm not convinced it should be doing this on that news as a catalyst. So, you know what? Look, if it gets to 14, I would have shorted it, but I'm not even sure it can get to that level. But I just paid for the locates on AMV, and it looks like it might decide this is turning at $1. So like if it makes another push to the top side, I'll look for that $1.10 area, but I might not get that trade. Just going to have to accept it. I got a leg out of SI just there, but Alibaba was the new one that I'm looking to make a move here. I don't have any bids just yet, but there's no chance. Like 89.40. If you look at it at the open here, you know, it tried to break out at the open, flushed, and there was a nice consolidation in front of 89.40. I'll get something out in front of that. I'm going to have to respect that there were some buyers in there. A little bit of a channel, and I can see on the way back in checking up. So I'm gonna get some out there. If it does want to hold, fair enough. But everything seems like they're coming to the downside. So it's about looking for those shorts. And even Intel, and we just got that Intel. We got a couple legs out there to 10s. It's right back to low. If it takes out the low on out, and then it can look for the shorts beneath that 25. There's a lot of room to that. It's not the all-time, like the 52-week low is what that 24.50 was. A lot of room to that. Doesn't have to get there today. I do think it's headed there. It just doesn't have to be there today. That's why I have the long in Intel. And then Snapchat's the other one that we're in. Yeah, we're running out of time for this to make a move. It's great that Snapchat is relatively strong, but at some point, it's going to have to make a move to the high of the day. Otherwise, it just gets a little bit sleepy. VWAP is holding, but you got to do more than hold. Like, it's given some decent trades up here, 15, 20 cents. But, I mean, come on. You got to get through the high of the day here. That's what I want to see.
All right. So just, yeah, we're almost out now of Zoom. So we only have a small piece left. We just got 15s. That's another call right there on Zoom. Good couple outs there on SI, as we'll have to watch out to see what that's doing. Google's still moving around. Is there anything else perhaps we're not looking at? We just looked at that AMAM and talked about that for you guys. Apple 154 right now.
Ooh, that's a good level.
That was good. Yeah, like, so there's Apple. So again, we were only going long, but right here, bouncing again off of that opening range. So 154 coming on Apple could be a good level for us to look at again right there. Of course, Meta's starting to bounce back up, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of work with Meta right now as it's finding a bid, just starting to take out some of these highs. Like, I don't mind, honestly. I mean, I'll take something out at 50 here if it comes back in for us. We'll get a piece out right now, 450s, but, good trade. We are coming into 186.80, so that's what I got to look at. We were going to go shorter on Meta, but maybe not, especially if this market, I don't know, man. We're still doing what I think it is, man. All of these highs are lower. So you're still making lower highs, like here, yeah, that's still lower high, then there, then there, then there. Like, we're still doing the dance to the downside. So I think, like, me getting, like, that's probably going to look silly, but let's just continue to do it. That's why we take more shares than we need to sometimes, because we know the way we trade, we're going to have to want to scalp some of these out, right? So that's going to be sort of a trick there that we're doing. SI, good out again. Well, not really. We don't have any 65s. We got 72 there, which was a good one. And then what else, man? SOX S, yeah. We can look at that. That's NVIDIA there. Kala, we talked about that a little bit. Maybe we didn't, but I can look at that too. AMV is the new Tesla. Yeah, you got that right. What about Rivian right now to the downside?
Oh, God, no.
Yeah, not really. I mean, I thought maybe Rivian had a chance to break. We were talking about Rivian getting near its all-time lows again, and, it's right there at, was it 1520 something, 1503. Anyways, yeah, nice. We're still far away. So I wanted to look at that in case that was an issue. There was some news about Uber. But yeah, I'm really just gonna have to relook at this Meta. I still think we got to respect that 186.80 there and just get out if it breaks. I mean, what I'll do is, because we're still below and we're getting a little bit of a bounce up right now, I'll short a little bit more at 80 because we're almost out of this. I mean, we still have some shares, but I'll short a little bit more at 80 than just use 187 as our out rate there. So let's short a little bit more and then give ourselves 20 cents. I mean, we're short right now at 187. So we're still 55 cents in the money. I'll take a piece out. We'll still, there we go. So now we took another piece out. So now we're giving ourselves the ability to short there again. So let's go 186.80 up to 187. Let's put our shorts in.
Yeah, just like I see TRK making moves as well, but this one's kind of, it's up 300 million shares, but it's running into like a resistance zone of this 80-cent level. And you've already bounced like 1 time, 2 times. So it needs to churn through 80, and it feels like the volume, it keeps trying to pick up in volume. It's got the trend working with it, but if this doesn't take 80 at some point, I kind of like AMV to be the weaker name, like failing $1 on AMV versus going over to like TRK and fighting that stock at 80 cents, because this has been on a bit of one. If you look at it on the daily chart, like this has really been churning. I think it's a decent level at 80. I think that's a better one if it gets to like that 90 or $1, and it's not quite there just yet. So my eyes are set on AMV out of these small cap names. I just feel like this is the more beaten up one. And if it can't get through $1, it's a big psychological level. That 110 is also a pretty large level there. Next time Intel climbs above 10, I'm going to get some more shares out there. And I got a 90 stop on Alibaba. If it breaks 90, I'm just going to get out of it. Sometimes those ADRs don't go. Oh yeah, Coinbase. So we scalped out, then got stopped out. So essentially, a little better than a flat trade, but now it breaks out. So at wick bottoms, the good thing about somehow Coinbase makes this bounce to the upside. Probably should have held on to the long, but Silvergate still manages to hold down. So this is a very, very good sign for the SI short. If Coinbase is bouncing off the lows that way and the market's not breaking down and you're breaking VWAP and channeling here on SI, I think we're going to get some money fills here. My next bid's at 550. Going to get one probably in the 30s as well, just to be out there in case it does one of these candles. I want to get picked up. But Coin bounced, Silvergate didn't. That is a fantastic sign for those shorts. AMV is tempting to put on the short right here in front of $1. I might take 2 cracks at this because if it doesn't break $1 here, I'll probably try the 98.99 short to the high. If it does break $1, I'm looking for the short off the 110. So that'll be 2 separate trades here. And we had to pay for locates on AMV. I should have said that. I paid a grand total of what is that? Yeah, less than a cent a share. I mean,
Sometimes they're just so cheap.
it's like I'm not reading the number. It's cheap. It's cheap.
Yeah. So most of the time it's like 0.0025 or something. So for 1,000 shares, it's $2.50, something like that. That seems to be like a pretty popular pay for short
Maybe
price.
make up the price.
It seems like that's what I mean. It's just like whatever it is. It's like this quarter of a share, something like that. Okay, so I don't know, man. We're very, very close to getting more Meta. I mean, this is why we got out. Like when it was starting to bump up again, we took the 50 period. It's why we sort of have these lines. We are waiting at one. I mean, we're waiting right here now, 186.80. I believe almost, yeah, right on the knot. So if it comes up to 186.80, we'll get some more short here for this name. That is Meta. And then hopefully it falls down once we get that trade. But if it doesn't, you always have to trade with an out. So hit the like, hit the subscribe.
Hola, like and subscribe today.
You know, I went back to Juan, who's actually Spanish, and he goes to me, hola. So I don't know if he was like a trolling or whatever there.
Of course he was.
But so he's definitely seen that right there. But that, I mean, it is Spanish, so maybe he was just saying what's up. Okay, so
Nah, he's trolling.
Meta, Tesla. Tesla's the next one on my mind. Like, I can't believe this is going to probably go against me at some point, but we still have this 197 short here, looking for a pullback into the close. It's 313. I mean, me and Neil have to be flat at the end of every single day, so regardless of what everybody's opinion on Tesla is, there's not much opinion that I have other than let's hopefully this falls. Here it goes. Here it is. There's a nice move down.
Get down.
What's up with that? Nice move down for Tesla right now. Get down. Right now. Meta, get down. There goes Meta as well. Nice move to the downside for, I don't know why, that doesn't even sound like Arnold, but get down right now if we can go. There goes Meta, downside move as well. So yeah, let's go. This is spinning the money right now. We hold the shorts. You got to pay yourself out. So there it is right there. Take that out right there at 20 for Meta. I just paid that piper right there. So I don't know, whatever it cost me, probably nothing on an execution. Get it out. That, you know how pissy that is right now? We were 4 cents away from getting a monster trade on Meta and just releasing the Kraken on this short. But unfortunately, I was sitting there 2 seconds ago, we were talking about, like, this is a move down, so whatever. It is what it is. Who knows what this move is for? But, like, we were very close to getting that. Maybe if it comes back up, we will again. But, oh, that's too bad, man. We were just pennies away from pretty much having a full default, which you guys, like, that would have been a nice move anyways. So let's just forget about it. Tesla makes that move down right into the 50 period. I want to take this out, but I'm not doing myself justice if I do that. We could have got this out so many times. So I'm going to have to wait for 194.50 and put a bid on there. Take $2 and then hopefully hold the rest for a huge move down on Tesla. But 194.50, I have to do it. Back to that 50 period. Tesla doesn't look weak anymore.
So the get down, I have to give the shout out. I got a shout out to Debo, who used to trade. His name's not actually Debo. The man's name is Sean DeBot. He used to trade on the floor back with us. And if he was in the shorts, he was doing the gangster Arnold impression all day long. Get down all day. I love it. That's why you might hear Sean and I say it from time to time. I'm in AMV. I just took it on. Look, if you wick top at $1. It's hard not for me to like that 99 short, as I said. So I got it now. I got bids down to 94 here, starting 97, 96, 95, 94 in predictable fashion. If it takes out the top, fine. I still like that 110 level that can come into play. Oh, come on, Silvergate. Give me a break. I'm gonna get another leg out here in the 60s. It's doing just enough to convince me that, you know, we're running out of time as well. It's 3:16, so it's a little bit later on in the day. We have to be flat by the end of the day, so taking some profit out is going to make some sense. I still have bids from this morning when I started into this short. Coinbase starting to trend back down. Somehow Snapchat's managing to hold up. Intel went essentially got some up for the scalp trade, then that took out the bottom, so like that coin long, it's essentially flat. Snapchat, I'm not reloading this again. At this point, I think if it just takes out 1175, I'm just going to clean reverse this. So I'm not reloading Snapchat. A, it's too late in the day. B, it just feels like it wants to roll over with everything else. So I'm not gonna mess around. We still did get out most of it. However, not a good enough break. You couldn't take out that 12. I like the short if it reverses. AMV just gave me one fill, so filled 97, and it's kind of just holding out here. So not much happening just yet, but it did look like it's a bit of a failure of that $1 break. Enough that there can be some longs up at 1, and I'm just looking to play the pullback in 94. It's still an upward trend. Like, this can hold 93 or 94 and be an upward trend, but I like this pullback here at the buck.
All right, nice. Yeah, look, I mean, that's all we can really do is trade what we see in front of us and try to do the best job we can. So there it is. We're going to take a piece out on Tesla. You know, don't at me or whatever, but I'm pretty
Oh my God.
Happy. Oh man, too bad we have this little thing there. Let's see if I can zoom it out again. No, I can't, can I? Oh man, let's see if I can just make this like this. See if this will make the chart a little bit better. Get away. There it is right there. So there's the short there, 197. It just pulled back into the 200 period. I was kind of regretting not getting it out the first time when it broke there. Then it came back, and I had the trigger to get this out again, but I didn't. So the fact that we have this opportunity now, I think, is a good one. Now we can wait for Tesla and the rest of this destruction. I mean, I called zeros when we were at 30s. So hopefully we get to the downside. We're halfway there right now as we continue to hold on to the shorts. So that's a good one for us. Look at ZM right now, still falling apart. We just made a move back to 40. Again, could have shorted it, didn't, waited for this. Nice move to the downside. It's an absolute, to me, honestly, it's really too bad that we didn't get that meta short, but we'll still hold on to that. And look at SI right now, collapsing. So let's put another bid here for SI. Let's just put one at 61. Let's see if we break down 62. Who cares? We could put a 62 or just punch out 63 and not even worry about it. But there's SI on a reload. We waited for that trade to come all the way in again. So this is a good one. Remember I said earlier, we'll wait for 60s. Didn't have enough patience to do that. We really started getting them out here at 80, and then I'm happy with that. But maybe we should not have gone there or at 70s. But we're right back in. There it is. For you. What's up, Scott Haynes? That's for you. What's up, Greg Moore? That's for you as well. What's up, Comp SRX1? Thank you so much for joining. And
Hola, like and subscribe today.
make sure you hit that subscribe today and like and all of that because, hey, man, we're putting on the bangers. Bye-bye, SI. NVIDIA. Let's go Meta. NVIDIA. Let's go Tesla. We're all starting to go to the downside. So far, so good here on some of these reloads. Don't tell me NVIDIA is going down.
No, it is. NVIDIA broke that flat bottom break. It's like, oh, my goodness, Snapchat has a flat bottom break. It hasn't happened yet. Baba's did, so I did take that one. But NVIDIA did as well. So thank you guys in the chat for pointing that one out. That's another reason to hit the like and subscribe is to grow the channel, to get more people eyes on the market, and we can see things like this because you're not going to catch every single trade. But that is a flat bottom break. Last I checked, 236.5. If it wants to hold the bottom end of this channel, fantastic. The good thing about even shorting here with a relatively tight stop is in 30 minutes we get the imbalances. So if it holds the bottom of this channel, you have kind of like a natural out there that if you get a buy imbalance coming at 330, you can just dump out of this. Risk to reward's pretty solid. I mean, if NVIDIA wants to pull back from here, I should show you the 15-minute chart. If I'm looking off of 15, it's like, why show you the 3? If it breaks this level and makes another channel down, you've got some serious room to the downside. That's what I mean about having a relatively tight stop. Here you're risking about 50 pennies to be short, but at the end of the day, I think the risk to reward sets up, whether you're getting out at 330 or 350 on a time basis, or just giving it to that 235.50 area. That's our 236.50 area. I like either. I'm trying to get the evens, lots of room to work into the downside. Baba, come on, get down there. I want more than just, it's giving a decent win, but not enough. I think it can flush even further than that. And as I reiterated, I am not reloading the one long I have in Snapchat. It's eerily similar to NVIDIA, except the gap fill is much, much larger were it to break that 1175. So I'm in the long, but I've taken most of it out. I'm not planning any kind of a reload there to anyone still tuning in. And AMV has yet to either flush or make a convincing break to the downside. I got one fill 97 off the 99 short. It's just still chilling here at 99. Got to be patient with this one, but we do have to run out of patience the closer we get to 4 o'clock, that is.
Yeah, still pretty early now as right here Meta is testing. I'm going to put something at O's or close enough to O's as, again, we're getting lighter on this trade. So hopefully it can come back in, then we can hold the rest into the close. We just touched 186 and bounced. So I didn't have any bids there. So I am adjusting my trading to try to take some more risk. But again, it's just 1 bounce, 2 bounce, now 3 bounces off of 86. So it's testing me, and when it goes clean, there's absolutely no problem, right? But it's just right now, these bottoms have been hit a couple times, so we're gonna sit there. If it comes back in, we'll take it one more time. I'm in the 86 O's, so we're O something downside, which now is gonna be 30 cents lower. We're gonna have to have it now. So again, I don't think it was a mistake. We let it go. It just didn't hit. It didn't hit. So hopefully Meta can come in there and will hit us on that. What else, man? Everyone loves this TRKA.
We went over it.
Short squeeze of the year. Oh, now it's at 70. Okay.
It's the 80 break is the 80 break. I mean, if it's not breaking 80, it's kind of tricky. Sorry, I'm just on Alibaba. They're getting some orders out there, but it's just that 80 level. And if anything, it might even be a short to 80. I don't know. It's not moving. The volume's tapering off there. That's more exciting on an 80 break tomorrow than it is right here. But that's just my 2 cents.
I mean, what was the short float on that thing? I mean, we can go over here to float checkers. Let's just check it out again here. TRKA. So let's just Trokia Media Group. So let's just find out here how many shares are available and whatnot. Yeah, so the float is in the tens of millions, which is a tens of millions, which is a problem. And then they're 40% as well. So yeah, you know, you guys might be right about this stock being the next mover. I mean, it's already moving up 46%. Give it some time, and I think you'll probably get your wish. Downside for TRKA right there, guys. Sorry, upside for a blow. If you get up for a dollar, I mean, that's really where it starts there.
That.
And I thought we looked at this earlier, wasn't it? Wasn't this a key level? TRKA, well, I think this was also, let me see here. So this is already what's happening. So it's already broken. Remember we talked about this earlier? If we break 70, then we go to the upside. So right there, there's 80, I mean, 80 is not even that key. A dollar, we've broken it before. We got as high as $1.05, so watch out for that. And then $1.30. I mean, there's a lot of room for this name to keep going. So I would say watch out, man. One of these other low float names that just can't seem to find a bottom unless the bottom is zero. Like 10 cents just held, and now the move up. So I don't want to feel like, don't have FOMO on this one. Like it's already up 7x from that bottom. You could, remember what they do? It's called drop share offerings. So you got to watch out, especially if this name gets above $1. They could drop a share offering on this, which brings it a hell of a lot lower than that. But I still feel like $1 is not a share offering level. It needs to be a lot higher. So, you know, maybe TRKA continues to work. And no, I don't know of any share offering. Barely know this name. Right there, there's Meta though. Money. Finally coming in, Meta dollar right there now. We just took $1 on Meta as it just breaking. Remember I said, man, Meta isn't reacting the way it should be. It should be at the bottom. So let's wait for 185.50 for Meta. Next stop, all aboard. The Meta train is heading southbound.
Yeah, the market is heading back down. Snapchat just broke. I'm trying to grab the reversal on Snapchat. Did I get it? Oh, I did get it. What am I talking about? I was able to get the reversal through 75, but guess what got to VWAP? And not too bad. It just smacked VWAP at AMV. So short 99s, it just bounced off 93s at 96, 95, 94. 93 looks like a bit of a bid. That's essentially where it broke out from the second time. If it breaks down again, obviously I think this has a chance to get back to like the mid to high 80s. But for now, this can't turn into a loser unless I screw something up, which I plan on not doing usually. That's if I were not to take my stop out, which it bears mentioning. It could happen, but I have to adjust the stop for shares. NVIDIA just made another fresh low, so that short's working. Now there's no longs in for me because Snapchat was the last one out there. So, Sean, you got the last long on board. You win. Brendo?
I haven't been able to find much on this one, but I mean, relatively small float here, 52 million for this SFR. It's been halted a couple of times already. Just took out day highs there once again. For this one, up a ton, trying to go again here.
I mean,
SFR.
We are now, I mean, we're doing pretty well right now. Needless to say, as Meta now is $1.20 now in the money and going lower. It just broke 890s, sorry, down to 80s. It did wick 80. That was that $1.20. Now let's see if it wants to continue to move down, man. Tesla's now $2.50 in the money and breaking right now, which I don't know, it's kind of stopping. But you said that I win holding the last shares at Google. So that's good. But
I was joking around.
No. But I think, no, what I'm saying is I think that there could be a long here. Like, I don't necessarily know that we want to drop this 95.15 or so. That bottom right there is 95.10. This is why we're not out of it. It's barcoding right now into such a negative market. Like, this is what the market looks like, giving back everything today. And then our hero long off the morning on Google is still chilling. So there's two ways this could work. Either it breaks and it's tank city after that, just like we called sort of that NVIDIA break there and Meta and everything. Or kind of the opposite happens here. We hold this level, possibly test 95 and then start to go back to the upside on what could be.
Can you leave that chart up for a second?
Yeah. This one.
Indulge me here, Pratt, if you can. Just go immediately from that one to my chart of Snapchat and tell me that's not. Is that not the same, like flat bottom break?
Yeah, but I mean, even NVIDIA too, right?
Yeah, but NVIDIA was at the low of the day. Like Google, so Alphabet and Snapchat were strong. So that's what I mean. Kudos to Google for holding up, but Snapchat just put on that reverse with that flat bottom break. I don't know if there's time in the day to want to reverse into more shorts, but that's the only thing holding up that I can see. So congratulations to Alphabet for holding that level. If it holds all day into tomorrow, you got to be looking for that level for a long tomorrow, I would have to think. But the shorts are paying. It is what it is. The market's headed down. We grabbed the BABA. We reloaded BABA. It's not really a reload because that reload would be at the same price we got on it against the breakdown when it took out that flat bottom. I just finally got 89.50. Looking for the quarters next. It's all shorts, but we do have the imbalance. Early look on the imbalance will come in about a minute. If it's to the buy side, will that even matter is the question I have to ask myself. But we do have to be flat in 30 minutes, so taking profit is going to be a thing. AMV is weird. Like the volume's dying, but it just caught a bid at 95. So for whatever reason, some buyers just stepped in here at 95. Not for a lot of size, but if it holds here for too long, I'm going to have to get some more shares out 95 instead of waiting around for VWAP. And then it was TRKA was the one that we were just watching. It doesn't have to break. So here's the problem. Like it might break 80, and it might do so close to 4 o'clock that I wouldn't take the trade. It looks like that's going to be a potential play here. I think it has a chance to make the move, but I want it breaking levels. On squeeze names, you want shorts to get squoze. So new shorts are getting burned when this actually starts taking out and holding above 80. Otherwise, it's just kind of all the ones from earlier on in the day. And it's been pretty calm around here. So might run out of time for this breakout to happen. I just want to get that out there. I like the 80 break, but it's 3:30 right now, and we only have 30 minutes left.
All right, yeah, it's an important thing to note that Neil and I are going to be flat at the end of every single day. So we have to trade accordingly and get out of our positions. And on that note, wow, what a great trade for Meta. We are pretty much out of this name right now, as it just went all the way back. I mean, what else are we going to do? Went all the way back into day's low. We sat there. We took a 74 bid, and the rest, as they say, is history here on Meta, as it just wants to keep on going upside or no, downside. But if it goes back up, we'll wait for it. But there's Meta. We just got a piece out in case, it goes back up off that bottom. I'm happy with this. We'll just hold it. Whatever it does now. I'm pretty happy with Meta and the way it's traded today. As I said, it's going to be my number, well, it'll be close, but it won't be the number one stock, but it'll be close. Google's still that. Okay, so now Google's broken now. So we'll probably just get out of Google, end of this trade. We talked about there was only a couple ways for this name to go right now. So we're going to get out at 14 or 13. There it is. We got 14s out on Google right there. So good out for that one as it broke. So there's Google breaking lower. I still don't want the short in this name in case we bounce, but we'll get out of that. There's that home run from the morning, man. We hit it out of the park, and we're going to wait for that now as it comes back in. But that's it. Google breaks, so we can get out of that one. All right, Brendo, let's go kill him with kindness.
Hey guys, we'll wrap up the afternoon for small caps here. If you missed out on any of these today, here's what's happening with them. AM, we discussed a little bit when we came on there. It was all about moving to the NASDAQ. It would appear anyways for this one up a ton. So far today for AM. There we go. That is the right chart now. 71.5% on the day. Absolutely monstrous move on the daily chart over the past couple of weeks as well. Almost as if someone knew what was coming. GNLX as well, having a pretty decent day here. There wasn't much on this today, but still trying to take out the highs as we speak. My daily chart not updating here. If I refresh, possibly? Nope. Let's continue. TCRR was another one that mentioned early on this morning, up on, not that one either, but up on a positive note on one of their treatments that came back in a phase 2 trial. So if you zoom out a little bit, there is a monster level over here on the daily chart that it kind of ran into today, 180, and then two even above that. Wasn't able to get above that today, but trying to turn back to the upside as we speak. Kala as well. More positive news after Friday's move down here for KALA. SOUN popped up with AI today. AI was the first one to go. Soundhound also went Big Bear AI ends up being one of the bigger moves initially, all the way to 380. But look, we've given it all back here today for BBAI. And again, that was all off of AI's move itself that also came all the way back, but still holding decent gains here for some of the AI-related stocks today, guys. Busy day for small caps. Back over to you.
All right.
It definitely has. There's no question about it. So just a couple of adjustments here. Not really adjustments, but the imbalance came. Early look at the imbalance, I should say, 78 million to buy.
Amazing.
Huge. No, that's obviously a pretty insignificant number, at least early. But Snapchat, I mean, enough of a checkup here that I'm going to get another leg out in this consolidation. Time is a bit of a factor as well when we're looking at these trades. I mean, Alibaba, which I'm also short, like if you have multiple positions on, you get into 4 o'clock and you have to wind them down. So BABA, if it gets down to that 50 again, I might just take another leg out, just respecting the fact that it's not a complete free. There's a nice, gentle glide to the downside right now on Alibaba. It's not exactly free falling here, although it looks like it on the chart, but this is getting pretty slow. And these ADRs don't always move as fast as you want. NVIDIA, I feel like the level that broke down, like this, I want this to test 235. It's obviously a big round number. So I want to give this a chance to get through 235. I feel a little bit solid about this. Just the way that reversed off of breaking that level from Friday, this is just a huge reversal from long to an obvious short that I could see some real dumping were it to take 235. So I want to hold through a 235 break in NVIDIA. That's the one I think could go. And it's a similar thing with Silvergate here to those other names. Respect the fact that, okay, well, it got to 550. It's bouncing off 550. I mean, last I checked, 550 was a decent psychological number. So like the others, I'm going to get a leg out here in the 60s again and then just try to hold to that low. 550 might actually be the bottom on this one, at least for the afternoon. I know it was at $5 this morning.
Yeah, okay, so good talk there. I mean, some small cap names, some large cap names. As we just continue to watch out for everything. Good stop out on Google. At least that's coming back down. And as Brendan mentioned, there's 78 million, and Neil mentioned as well, 78 million to buy. So not a big, huge imbalance at all, but still something. I'm actually, so Zoom again just bounced off 71. So this is another name that we have on board right now. And, you know, we've already taken out. We only have 20% left, so we've already done this. But I don't know. I was hoping for a 71 break. We did break. The lowest we got was 95. So right now, I am just debating getting this out. I will debate no more. I am just going to get this out if it breaks higher than that level right there. So if we break above 71.40, I feel like let's just not turn. I mean, what are we? We're short at 38. So this will be a flat trade if we get out. So let's just do that and get out if that does turn against us. It could do that, right? So we're not going to sit there and let a winning trade turn into a losing trade. And so that's good. And it's not going to anyways, hopefully, but that's 71.40 right there for Zoom. Check back in Tesla. Tesla looks like a good out. We didn't really want to make it, but again, bouncing off that 200 period. And like I was saying before, spoke with some of the new traders, and it's just like, stick with, you know, sort of what you've been doing and you know, the lines you've been looking at and the strategies as well, right? And so if we're supposed to get out on that 200 break, we missed it here for sure. Like this was trade of the day. We're going over stuff. Neil's talking. We're getting ready for the show. So I do miss that. It's just an excuse. I could have put a stop order. That's right there at 210. Then it came back again and we could have got out again at 195.54. So this is kind of like a blessing in disguise when it came back in. So let's just make sure that we take that out and now we can move on from there and continue to watch some other names. So hopefully Tesla pushes back down to the downside. SI was well out as well. That came out at 60. Now just a small piece. Let's get SI out if it breaks above 72 right there, which is getting pretty close. So I'm just going to put that order in now. So 5, and I'm just doing it with my hands. So anything that comes out, what I'm going to do is cross up to 75. The volume's not too crazy right now. I'm not worried about getting wicked out of this trade or anything. If we take out 70 right there, 75, 72, that level, then we'll get out. I just put a 75 bid, so that should be manageable. But for me, no more getting out of Tesla. Let's wait to see if this market continues to go down. Let's see if Tesla can finish somewhere around 193 today. I know that's kind of a crazy call, but let's see if it can happen.
So a couple of things here. I want to shout out, thank you, True Trading Group, for the 50 memberships. You guys see that in the chat. Go gobble them up. I think that already happened. And a big shout out.
Congratulations!
Mr. Dan Emmons is still short. Well done. I know you talked about it this morning, 12,469. on the NASDAQ. So last I checked, that's over 100 handles in the money. And if you don't know what a handle is, it is a good, look, it's on the NASDAQ, obviously it's different than the ES, but we talk about those handle moves, and that's the entire full point. So good trade on the futures there. You called it out there. You made the trade. The market has been a short since, but we're running out of time. So I just took another leg out of Snapchat, just going over a few names there. AMV, I'm now out of over half of it. That's still a NASDAQ stock, Neil. Last I checked, it hadn't changed, but it just made another bounce into 97. So this is more the fact that it's getting into the end of the day here. So just trimming every single time it consolidates, going to take a little bit more out there. All the shorts are working, but we are running out of time for them to work even further. I just saw NVIDIA. Ooh, yeah, it just bounced off. It keeps bouncing off this 235. Like, I want this breaking 235 because I think it could really go if it takes out 235. But at some point, 20 minutes to go, if it doesn't break it on the imbalance, then there's a decent chance it could have one of those dead cat bounces. I've already, I haven't moved my stop. Good thing I just looked. There's no chance I want to give that all the way back up here. 35 breaks, great. If it doesn't, I want to break even stop for now.
So the only missed opportunity for me this afternoon, and we've been really banking out on, hopefully you guys are able to make some money as well with us here, or at least on some of the calls, is Google. We should have just gone short there. Once we got out there and broke lower, like once that level's broken right there, we should have taken the short. But again, coulda, woulda, shoulda. The market is starting to go back down into the lows one more time. So, everything's working out. It's always nice when you're short and the market goes down, but that could have been taken again there. The thing is, if the market rebounds, then you're going to look foolish for taking it because you know that Google's strong. But anyways, still a break. And again, part of it is following your own rules and just trading something that's relatively weak versus strong. Let's just check out Bed Bath & Beyond again. Okay, 140, really not doing anything. This is at the day's low as well. High of 160 today. Probably could have faded some of these pops, but the high of the day is just the open. So yeah, not really anything there for Bed Bath & Beyond. Today, quick shout out to AMC and Ape Nation. See what you guys are up to today. 630 and still trying to go as Meta right now. Continues a little bit here. The futures are bouncing. The DXY starting to go as well. AMC, wow, 675. Okay. Again, right off the open. Actually, no, right off the open. 1030. Big move up there. Taking out Friday's level and then just heading southbound. So watch out for that 675 there on AMC. But I was just looking around. What is going down here? So yeah, it's not. We're bouncing. Yeah, Meta just came back in, just took out its low. That's what it was. 185.50. So hopefully we do get a continuation move down. Saw the net flicker around there, so it must have been Meta going down to 185.55. Here we go. Come on, break the low again on this name, and we'll just watch this all the way downside. So again, what have we put on for you guys this afternoon? Just this monster Meta short at 186. Average price about 186.60. We started at 50. We got it all the way up here to 15s. So we had to hold this thing against us about probably 50 cents. And now it's all the way down, giving us $1.40. So nice move downside for Meta and still going lower. So yeah, this is going to be a nice day for us. 71 coming in again for Zoom. Let's just sit here and take it out, man. Zoom 71s. Let's take it out. If it cracks lower, then so be it. But let's get this out at 71. We've been here too many times. 71.02. I'm going to put my bid right now.
Yeah, so with 10 minutes till the imbalances, so just a couple of things here. Managing the shorts, look, if you've been short this afternoon,
Congratulations!
we like it when the market goes up, but as a trader, you got to be able to trade short when it goes to the downside. That's just how it is. But time to start taking things out. I'm tightening up my stop in Alibaba. I did re-enter the trade a little bit lower, but I'm not giving it to break even. Let's just go. I have like 89, about 70 here. I want relatively tight stops at this time of the day because we are running out of time, A, in the market, but B, till those imbalances come out. And given the fact that it's a small buy, sometimes you can see like a market reversal. It wouldn't surprise me if we caught a bit of a bid here. Snapchat, I've already worked out of some of it. But NVIDIA, 235, it just keeps bouncing off 235. And, okay, I'm going to still have some time to go. So I'm going to give it some time. I still think there's a chance we could take out that 235 level. I put the trail on. I'm now out of Alibaba. Got to start thinking about where to get out. Snapchat, I thought was an obvious reverse. But really, it was an obvious reverse, but it instantly caught a bid. up 10% on the day, just instantly caught a bid after breaking that flat bottom. So not really much follow through there either. Like NVIDIA's at the lows, SI's beneath VWAP, that AMV failed $1 and is now at 95. Like they're just stronger shorts than Snapchat up 10% and basically giving you 10 to 15 cents when it reversed. So those are the ones to hold into the imbalances when they come through. And something like a Snapchat, as a matter of fact, I'm just going to get on the bid, get some more out here because it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. You couldn't have lost on the reverse, but it's not really giving you that big of a move, as you guys can obviously see. Just to check back, I know, what is it? Oh, God, it's KM. Now I forget the name of, what was that penny stock, the one at 80 cents now? Goodness.
TRKA.
TRKA, that's the one. For the record, I did already cancel. I'm not going to take an 80 break. It's 3:42, too late in the day, but I'm going to mark that one off for tomorrow. You know, that's certainly something that can happen. It's got a bit of a double top here. If it takes it out, still room to run. You check the short interest, Sean. Everything lines up. It's just not making that break today. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's unlikely to make that break today. There's still 15 minutes. Anything could happen. It's unlikely to make the break, and if it does, I'm not taking the break that late.
All right, we just got another piece out on Meta there. I came back into 70, and I was like, you know what? I just saw it go to 85. Let's just put it back and get a 70 out. So we do exactly that there on Meta. It comes back in. We take the 70. Now we'll wait to see where it goes from here. So hopefully that will come in there, Meta, but we'll see if the market does come in. Remember, we do have that market on closing imbalance that we just talked about coming through. And if you're looking at what that is, it's this. I got to get, I want to get rid of NYSE American, cancel that right there. We're going to get rid of ARCA, so we'll cancel that. See right there. Push OK. Now we'll wait to see. All of these are from 9:30 this morning. You're going to get something updated right now at 3:55 as it goes. So let's just move our charts over here and get ready to go for the close one more time. So that's that. Decent out on Meta. We're just light on everything. If there's anything you guys want us to look at, if market dies off a number, isn't Amazon a short tomorrow? All right, that was from, shout out to, right above Bears versus Bulls. Who was that? Momo. What's up, Momo? Oh, you know what we could check out? We could check out Ford right now. Yeah, I mean, I think Amazon's pretty much a short every day, but here it is again down today. Now down another 1%. Definitely a missed opportunity, but you can't have them all. That Amazon break there of 96 to the downside. Great move, man. The volume really has picked up here in the afternoon on these shorts. So you can see there's many more traders looking to go short on the move up, although it's not bad. You see this volume right here, right when we were at the highs? Not much volume, kind of really tapered off, and then the move started happening. You kept respecting the 50 period until you didn't. So just straight down, and now it's just bounce, bounce, bounce. So yeah, really, really like that for the short there on Amazon. Ford, again, another one of the top stocks for me.
Oh, wow.
Today. Look what Ford did. I mean, again, just long there. I mean, all the way, all the way. And then our last out's right there at 07. So we're able to not even worry about holding this when it makes a downside move. But Ford was a great long off the open. And yeah, the market right now, 345. Apple still bouncing off 154, so that could be something there. Maybe even watch out for tomorrow. Still nice bounce off 154, that very bottom 153.80. Maybe now it's starting to go.
So speaking of starting to go, AM is still going to the upside. Obviously, I had said if it got to 14, I would look to short it, but this is now too late in the day to do it. But wow, what a move to the upside that is. Snapchat just went back to break even, so I got out of that one. Just felt like, again, there's just more weakness in some of these others to try to hold on to, NVIDIA and SI if it happens. But AM, look, I didn't think it would get to 14 the way it was trading. It looks like it might have that chance now. And this is what I mean on the daily chart here. Big squeeze candidate, obviously, when the float gets soaked up. I just don't. Moving to the NASDAQ next week, it doesn't feel like a catalyst that should make a move like this for whatever reason. I'm going to read up on this and see if there isn't more to it overnight. But for now, congratulations if you got it. No one ever went broke taking profit. Last I checked, that was true. I'm not saying you got to get out, but if I was long this, I'd be asking myself, why not pay out and then play with house money? Running out of time for AMV to get back to VWAP, but it is making that channel back. I just got some 95, so ring the register. Doesn't look like it'll fall through 93 here. Holds a higher low. This is actually a held trend, so I like that up down at $1, but this is now held trend as the market's coming back to the upside. So greed is not always good. Got greedy maybe with NVIDIA here, thinking we'd actually take out 235 and flush. It got 7 cents through that 235 and now breaking to the upside. But I like this stop out above this consolidation. Whoops, I just want to make sure I have my stop order right there. That's actually kind of off by a couple of cents. But either it stops me out breaking that 236, or it simply just gives that move. Like if it's a huge buy imbalance, I could just manually get out of the trade as well. But I put the break even thinking we take out 35 and flush. 3 minutes till those imbalances come through. I'll have this. SI, not really worried about Silvergate because this is actually still trending to the downside away from VWAP. I might just put a trailing stop at this back at like 570 and then hold till it close.
Tesla 195.50. I mean, we're getting pretty close to getting out of that one right now too. So, you know, we're above all the lines. VWAP is coming in right now. I'm going to put a stop at 195.50. We'll go a little bit higher than that. I mean, this is a great trade for us. So, but again, we don't want to have a loser put on board here if we can avoid it. So we'll watch out for Tesla right there. Good thing we took it out there at 40s or 46, whatever it was. Downside, saved ourselves 50 cents. Let's see if it can make a move back in. Now there's only 2 minutes until the imbalance. Wow, we are getting real close right now to a close. So 17, yeah, I was looking at Rivian again just to see what that was doing. Trying to make bottoms again on Rivian. I guess not bottom. The bottom was made in the day, but taking out these levels. If there was more time in the day, this is the kind of break that I really like. Again, weak. I mean, Rivian's strong today, but it doesn't matter. I still think it's weak. Below everything, 50, 200, 100 VWAP, and looking to break lower, 17, 15 right now. So maybe we get that move for Rivian, but again, it's going to be a little bit too late for me to really worry about it. What else, man? I mean, maybe there has to be something else that we can look at. Okay, that's Rivian downside. Neil just mentioned Silvergate. That's breaking lower. We'll wait for that imbalance to come out, and we are almost out of Zoom. Again, stupid for us not to take, well, not stupid. Again, we thought it was going to break. It looks like it's coming right back upside. So Zoom right now, almost at our stop. That's what I mean. Sometimes you get stopped out, sometimes you don't. So we're going to wait for 71.40 to break right now on Zoom. And after that, not much else to do for me. So that's what we're going to wait for. And Tesla down, SI down, Meta down. And we wait, man. Now only a minute until these imbalances. And there goes Meta again, near the bottom of the day for Meta.
Thing. I know we're going right to the imbalance. Just one thing here, because AM just got to 13. So every dollar has been a bit of a challenge, but it just got to 13. Put one of those wick bottoms that if I was looking short, that would have trapped. Like, okay, fails 13, there's a consolidation, like that 1240 level. Feels like that's an obvious shorting level for people that were inclined to that kind of a setup, and then a stop through the high. So this takes out the high. You could have like a 4 p.m. type runner, but that would, if it wasn't 350, that would actually have been a short entry for me. Parabolic move up, wick top, shorted off the high, risk to reward sets up there. I'm not taking it because I said it was too late in the day, but that is a very typical sort of setup for me to the south side as we get the imbalances in 2 seconds.
Yeah, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so here comes the imbalances right now. Let's see what we're going to do. Brendan is going to come out with this number. It looks like Meta wants to go to the downside
what's
a little bit right now. Microsoft's a sell. Yeah. Amazon's a sell. Yeah, but not, I mean, we could zoom in a little bit to see. There's not much happening there. Microsoft, Amazon, Brendan giving it $750 million right now, 775 to sell. Amazon down. Pinterest, I just saw, buy. Okay, let's see what Pinterest buy is doing. Not much. Yeah, okay, so yeah, Meta's still $150. So it sent Meta reeling. Meta's down now $150 in the money. Tesla still flat-ish. $2 in the money. Let's wait to see if we get some carry through downside now. That's what I'm waiting for, so we'll have to wait.
I mean, NVIDIA is a sell, but it's like 450,000 shares. That's not really a lot.
No.
Not when the stock is doing the kind of volume that it is. Like SI is moving. You saw SI there?
No, I don't see it on here, but at least it's moving down.
I was going to say, if SI had a sell imbalance, oh goodness, could you even imagine? But it is moving down. Look, at this point, it's just keep the trailing stop on. 355 is usually a big point in the market, so I want to hold on to all three of these. AMV might not be. It might be done. I have to respect the fact that NVIDIA has a buyer at 235. I think if it didn't break 235 the first time, it's unlikely to do so the second time. So if it just goes to 36 and to 35, fair enough. I'll take it out at the low of the day and then hang on to SI, because SI feels like it's just holding that 50 level, and maybe that one wants to do a bigger flush. I don't know if you're still watching. You said Rivian, but I know you're still in Tesla, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Tesla's a weird one, man. I got away from shorting Tesla at VWAP to go short other things, but really I should have just stuck with Tesla. It could have worked. And then there was Coinbase. Coinbase never ends up holding beneath that low. So that long off of the 63.50 area kind of remained valid throughout I got away from it because everything felt like a short, so just flipped to the shorts, but that ended up holding. It's still holding that level as we speak. Coin catching a tiny bid here while SI falls apart. This should be another level to watch for tomorrow. I mean, if it opens up holding that 63.50 again, and even Danielle was saying this, how coin, it does look bullish. I mean, I hate to say it because I usually only short the stock, but let's be real. Like, it's putting in higher lows and holding the 200 period moving average, and it's supporting the low here today. There's some bullish signs in Coinbase. I still will probably short 70 if it goes there tomorrow, but there's some signs here that it's making a bottom at least.
All right, I'm just going to, if we break 195, we're just going to get out of Tesla. I'm done with this waiting game on this stock. I mean, I would love for it to actually, do something, but if it's not going to, I'm going to get out at 195 if we break higher. Hopefully we don't see 195 again and we just tank the rest of the day. And what's been a very, very good money-making opportunity here this afternoon. And I hope that you guys are able to take advantage of some of these plays. We've done quite well with some of these shorts and everything today. I mean, even ZM is pulling back in a little bit right now as well. As, yeah, we're $2 in the money on Meta. Look at Meta. Holy gosh, right now. To have held, that's always the case. Look at Meta really cranking lower right now. All these shorts going to pay dirt at the end of the day. Yes, sir. Nice trade there for me anyways on Meta. Hopefully you got, like I said, hopefully it continues, but if I really thought this, we would have held some more, but we can't tell what these imbalances are going to bring. $1 billion, close to $1 billion to the sell side, brings this name right down right here again, looking lower, lower, lower. So Meta right now, 184.90. Good take on that one as, yeah, man, if you can, get some other people to...
Hola, like and subscribe today.
Because that's what it's all about, man. The more subs and the more subscribers we get, just tell them, hey, I was watching this guy on YouTube and he just demolished Meta to the south side. He held Tesla to the south side. They both have SI to the south side as this is starting to go down. He also gave us Zoom as well. And these are all working, as well as Google straight off the open working. So lots of names working. Going to be a positive day as, if you've looking for a trading show or anybody else's, please let them know you found us. Nice move down there for Meta. I just put a bid at 81 and didn't get filled. So yeah, it's starting to bump up a little bit here. Let's just get out of this one as 355's coming through, and we do know that we can flip over at 355. I'm just going to put a trail, actually, cancel this, on Meta at 185.11. We break that, we're gone. 185.11 on Meta. And by the way, Tesla right now, tanking as well. Right back down. We might as well get out of this one with only 5 minutes left.
So DJ, you're right. NVIDIA did break 235 again, but guess what it did? It did over under. It just got under 35 and then right back up. That's enough. At 355, I'm just taking that. We have 5 minutes to go anyways. Silvergate continues to crush to the downside. And you know what? I'll probably have to get some more shares at AMV. But that's another bounce off the 35 level. Even just as I'm saying it again, it's already back at 25.33. So to me, it makes sense on that over under to get out. We're going to Brendan, correct?
Hey guys, yeah, we'll show you the earnings board here, brought to you by our friends over at True Trading Group. Trading education, premium tools, mentorship, community to help you learn to trade and profit and more. Shout out to our friends over at TTG. Check out their stream coming up just after ours ends at 4 o'clock. Use a QR code on screen right now, guys. Check out True Trading Group. Here comes what is to come, aftermarket tonight and before the open tomorrow.
I thought we had Lordstown. I thought Lordstown was reporting. Am I wrong about that?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, so well, there's a couple of names on there. I would swear Lordstown was reporting. Yeah, Lordstown is tonight. That's worth watching because you've seen some smaller EV names make some moves in there. But it's not a huge one today. I know we get a few bigger names for the rest of the week. Dick's Sporting Goods, sometimes there's moves in that stock, quite honestly. I always make a joke about them on their earnings, up or down. I usually have something to say about it. But yeah, it's a little bit quiet. So I'm glad we went over some of the names here because I feel like we're going to be going back to the well, which we usually do on a lot of these names. I want to shout out to Adam DeLoes. We were chatting about Silvergate. Chatting about Silvergate, it was holding up, it did not hold up, so it'll end up being a fantastic trade for me on SI. If we can come to my chart for a second though, no matter how, even if it's good and even if it's my best stock out of these names, the one thing I will go back to the well with was if I had just stuck with the first short that I liked, in Coinbase, it was better. So yes, positive results on Silvergate, but at the point at which I'm like, let's just, no, Silvergate's the one. It's going to the short of that one. If I just go back to the head and shoulders right here in Coinbase, that was a much better entry point. You always have to look to get better, right, as a trader. And this was my shot. So I'm happy with Silvergate. I'd be a heck of a lot happier if I had just gone back, or sorry, if I just stuck with Coinbase in the first place. It took multiple shots, but I was picking my spots. And the last one we had it dead to rights. It's just a matter of getting back in. You can't complain about a winner, but you can always try to be better.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, we got out of Tesla there at 194.50. I just put the bid out there. I was just like, you know what, this market, I don't know if it's going to get to zero, but hey, we called that zero call right there, so that's a pretty good one as it's making the move down. And I just got out of everything, man. So ZM, again, we got out right there at 20 or 30, I guess, right there. I just, you know, in the last couple seconds, who knows where we're going to go. But look at these calls, man. Meta. Like, this is $3 right there, 180, well, 2.5 right now, as it is still bleeding to the downside. Wow, Meta. Unbelievable. We'll tweet this out, this short chart here, because all these are shorts, and then to finish at the close right there, and to have called this move in the NASDAQ, absolutely fantastic. Congratulations, everybody that's holding the short again. Great day for you, and we'll look to do that tomorrow. Wow, Tesla now, this is where we wanted it, just not enough time left in the day to let this happen. We wanted it back at 193, so here's a huge move. Unfortunately, we just gave up 70 cents there for no reason. Well, the reason was we're getting near the end of the day, but 70 cents for some people are good wins. We just gave it up. They're like, no problem, so that's stupid. But whatever, I don't know, it could have gone the other way. But there's Tesla. Great shorts for Tesla today. Can't see because we have this wick, but we started right there at 197, out there 195. So shout out to anybody who had that with me as well. And yeah, great day, man. Tesla SI. We just covered our SI as well.
1 minute left.
Off of that, yeah, with 1 minute left. Look at this SI trade. What's up, Adam DeLuz? Right there. Look at this. Boom, 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 boom. Huge trade down to the downside, right where we thought it would wind up. We, 60s was more of a key area, but we did get something out there around 580, then 560, 570, 560, and now again 540. So, man, good ouch there, man. 359.21. Amazon, Netflix, yeah, all printed. What's up, pro day trader? Lots of stocks today to the downside, and I'm just happy that we had Meta and we're able to give that to you, as well as Zoom, Tesla, all of that. Hopefully we gave you enough confidence to go, man. But so far, so good on the day. Great opportunities to trade. Thanks for watching.
I'm just loving it because Pratt has gone back and forth to ring the bell, to go back, to get another prop, to ring the bell, to go back. We got 10 seconds, and Pratt is on the bell. Let's see where he is today in 5, 4, finally 3, 2, and ring it. There we go. There you go. You can see Luca, see the entire team there. So great look there. What a great finish. Look, obviously the market may finish down, but shorts are out there. As the traders, we're out here to go short. And I just noticed what was on Prad's vest there, the Veuve Clicquot. So good look. That reminds me of my bachelor party where my brother was an absolute champion. I'll never forget this. He's like, yo, what champagne do you want? I want the Veuve. And they didn't have it at the bar we were at in Montreal. And he was like, no, this is happening. Made them go out in the middle of the night and get it for myself and then poured it down my throat because that's the kind of brother that he is. So I love Veuve. I just have some memories of how badly that felt afterwards. It was intense.
Yeah. That's good. At least you have a memory of that. That's good.
Well, Tetra.
Okay, Brendo, what's up?
Just reading a note on WW International picking up a telehealth firm, Sequence, according to the Wall Street Journal. So WW is formerly Weight Watchers. Here we go. Positive. Just hold on. I just double checked. We did just hold on there to positive territory. Exactly the same for the S&P and the NASDAQ. 0.1 for the Dow as well in positive territory. So hey, we'll take it. We go up, we go down, we end the day basically where we started.
Thanks so much, DJ. Yeah. Thanks, Adam DeLuz, everything like that. Yeah, hit the like button, and we're doing damage here, and I hope that you guys can see that, and we'll just continue to go over and over and over again. So I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank Bears vs. Bulls again. We're going to be back tomorrow and just ready to go again, man. The sticky note will be here. We had Tesla, Apple, Google, SI. We're going to write down some more notes on that tomorrow. Google finishes the day at 95.13, so stays above 95. Interesting level there for Google.
Yeah, just one last
1,000
thing.
likes.
Just ride $1 and 20% short interest. This should be an interesting ride tomorrow. So, whether it's over or under at that buck, you saw what happened with AMV at $1. There's these interesting 5 to 10% moves that you can usually get around that dollar level. So, Lordstown should be an interesting one. I don't think we're going to get anything reporting on that list to be able to see. So, we'll probably wrap it up here because I don't think ride's going to be till later.
Yeah, I was distracted from that list, so I didn't really see too many names on there. But yeah, Ride is another one. Okay, thanks, Prad. If you have that view there, we can go to Fahad and Prad and everything like that. Say bye-bye to those guys.
Oh, we
They don't have it today. Okay, well, bye, guys. That was fun. Thanks to Sharif. Thanks to Luca. Good midday show, as per usual. Thanks, Bears versus Bulls. Thanks, there it is. What's up, guys? Thanks, everybody in the chat as well. As you saw the top of my screen there, looking at charts. You can't ever stop. Brendan, anything happening right now or not?
Not seeing much popping up, guys. There was DKS as well. We talked with Danielle, so that's coming up tomorrow morning.
Sporting goods. Okay, so we'll look out for that. I mean, we've seen Nike and Lulu and all that. We'll see if the sporting goods, I mean, through winter, maybe good quarter there for Christmas spending and stuff. So, okay, we'll wait to see what happens with Dick's Sporting Goods tomorrow. Should be a good one. We've seen misses from Target and Walmart, Nordstrom's and so on and so forth, Macy's. So we'll see what happens in the sporting retailer. But okay, the trade of the day was NVIDIA. We had some bangers on. We'll have some more tomorrow. So from everybody here at Trader TV Live, I want to thank you. That's Neil, Brendan, I'm Sean, and we are Trader TV Live with the other guys, the midday show as well. We'll catch you guys tomorrow, though, 8:30. Ciao.